looking like garbage.
Hello.
Howdy.
Okay, I am not joined with the boy wonder this time because he's in the editing dungeon. So I have the Sheikh here today with me.
You
Go over the
see,
Quran. You see,
I'm
this is the proof.
scholar.
Yes. The mighty.
The one and only.
Indeed. Powerful.
Sheikh Balade.
Yes. Okay. So, obviously this is not Chris from Speaker's Corner.
I wish. In spirit.
Oh yeah, absolutely, in spirit. You're not quite British enough for it, at least not yet. So,
Yeah.
but I had to reschedule with him, so I'll be streaming this Saturday with him. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself at all, or give a backstory?
I'm Sheik Blade. To be frank, I don't know much, but it's probably more than most yet. Bible's better, pretty much. Just how it be.
Indeed.
Just how it be.
Okay. So we have not studied the Quran on stream yet. We've studied the Bible a couple times. So I wanted to jump into instead of starting at the beginning and going all the way through like I'm doing with the Torah, I wanted to start with my favorite surah, which was this last week's reading in the Islamic Dilemma, and it is The Ant. Have you read The Ant?
Only what we had to. Against my will, for lack of a better.
Indeed. Okay, well, unfortunately, Logos has a really bad translation of the Quran, as the Yusuf Ali I'm reading from.
I didn't even know they had one on there.
It's the only one. It's literally the only one. They have it in the Arabic as well, so we can go through it in the Arabic, which is nice. But they have it in the Yusuf Ali. I wish they had it in the Robert Spencer Critical Quran, which is what I actually read out of because it's good. It's a literal translation.
That would make more sense too.
Like
yeah, they would sell a ton of them. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah,
wouldn't go that route.
Yeah. Instead, they have this, which isn't even supporting a believer. Like, Robert Spencer is a Christian, getting money to him every time someone buys the book on Logos.
Instead of the enemy.
The enemy. Yes. The shaitan. Anyway. Okay, so for some context for those people who have never actually seen a Quran or picked it up or read it, for the Muslim translators, because the Quran doesn't make any sense, they add things in brackets, which is actually not in the Arabic. So any single time you're reading this, you can omit everything in parentheses, and that is closer to the true meaning of what the sentence is trying to say. There are some translations of the Quran that entirely don't have that at all, and they just make up what it's saying. They don't actually translate it. It's a paraphrase. This is actually a translation, but it's added and changed in order to make it less stupid and make more sense. The clear Quran, if you go to Quran.com, the default translation does the same thing. This one is pretty old. It's from the mid 1900s, I believe. And then the clear Quran's from like 2013. So we'll be reading out of this translation.
And even though it's the 1900s, for whatever reason, didn't he make it sound like the King James for like the Book of Mormon?
It's not as bad as like the Pickthall. That is the worst one. You still have some yees, oh ye people, but it's slightly more modern English. The Pickthall is entirely ancient, not ancient, the King Jamesian English. So, yeah, no, it's quite dumb. But this surah in particular, there's many really dumb things in the Quran. Whenever we go through it on stream, you'll see more and more how dumb it actually is. There's some really, really funny statements that are made in it. This one has some of my favorite collections because it not only affirms the gospel and the Torah, it also has Solomon doing something really dumb, and it's plagiarized. And we know where it's plagiarized from. So it's plagiarism, but it's really dumb plagiarism that's obviously false. So it's a plagiarized false source in the Quran that's supposed to be divine dictation from Allah. So
nice.
Let's
There's
go
a lot of things going for it, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, it is one of my favorites. All right.
And why is it called the ant?
Because he talks to ants.
Okay. I shouldn't have asked, but I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just a singular ant. It's the ant.
Oh, it's the ant queen, presumably because it's called a female. Who knows if it's actually the queen or not, but I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Anyway.
It is what it is,
Yeah, these are the verses of the Quran, a book that makes clear. So the Quran claims to be clear dozens of times. It's one of the most common statements in the Quran, other than this is a Quran given in Arabic. The other one is this is a clear book. So we're going to see this phrase, I think, a couple times in this passage for it's a clear book. Yet if there's anything unclear in it, then either Allah is wrong or you're dumb. Is kind of the way it has to be for it to make any sort of sense. But in Surah, I think 3, it says that there are parts that are clear and parts that aren't clear. So that's a contradiction because it says that everything is clear. Yet later on in history, because he's writing it progressively, in the order is not what it's. You're just supposed to know. It's just supposed to.
It just is obvious.
Yeah, it's just absolutely obvious, which is ironic because they're a religion based on the scholars. But the scholars, if you have to interpret a passage, it was not one of the clear passages. And Allah says those who try to interpret the unclear passages are going to hell. If it's clear, you shouldn't need an interpretation. So any form of scholarship on the Quran is damnable, essentially. Because either you're taking a man as a lord beside Allah, which in Surah 4, Surah 5 is damnable by hellfire, or you're trying to interpret the unclear bits, and the only people who do that are those who are going to go to hellfire. So either way, scholarship leads you to hell in Islam from the Quran.
So why?
And if
bother?
You argue the Quran, why bother at all? You have to read it and believe it and accept it.
That's just how it be.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Absolutely.
Don't study too hard, though. Don't study too hard.
If you question anything, you're a kafir.
Yeah. Isn't that a fermented milk drink?
No, it's not, surprisingly enough. It's an unbeliever. The infidel. Okay. The guide. Glad tidings for the believers, those who establish regular prayers and give in regular charity, and also have assurance of the hereafter. How they have assurance, I have no idea. Because even full assurance, this is assurance of salvation. Yet Muhammad didn't know if he was going to be saved, and his second in command didn't know if he was going to be saved. Even if he had one foot in paradise, he wouldn't be confident in his salvation. So, you can have full assurance, except the leaders did not. Fun. As to those who believe not in the hereafter, we have made their deeds pleasing in their eyes, and so they wander about in distraction. Such are they for whom a grievous penalty is waiting, and in the hereafter theirs will be the greatest loss. So here we have Allah essentially forcing people into believing that what they're doing is good, and then punishing them severely. And it's not just a punishment, it's the greatest punishment that he can give, even though he's the one that's causing them to sin and not repent and come to him. So even though Allah's name is Ar-Rahman, the merciful, or the bestower of mercy, he still doesn't have any mercy for those that he could lead to salvation, and is instead choosing to punish them severely. Why?
So he makes you do bad things and then punishes you for doing the bad things that he made you do.
And not only does he make you do it, he makes you think it's a good thing. So you can't even have like a conscience and say, oh, I'm doing something bad. He is causing it to look like it's a good deed. Like they're doing something moral and good and honorable instead of leading them to destruction. So he's deceiving them. This is Allah being a deceiver of the unbelievers and causing them to die and go to hell.
But what about the believers?
The believers are also caused to believe in their belief, which is probably how you could have assurance of the hereafter. But even then, they are tempted with things that Allah specifically tempts them with. But if he has full control over everything, why does any of this make sense at all?
Yeah, in one way or the other, like everyone should be damned or everyone should be saved, essentially. Because he does both. He causes both to happen. Except you don't know one way or the other. And he can arbitrarily
forgive sin. So you don't even, it's not even like the Christianity where Jesus has to pay your debt. He can just forgive sin however he feels like it because he's an arbitrary judge. And yet he's choosing to damn people after causing them to sin.
Interesting.
How evil is that?
It's not very nice. It's like, oh, hey, you gave to that homeless person. That's good.
Yeah.
And, okay, I just kill that homeless person. All right. It's good to you, but to me it's bad, so it's not good. So either way, even if you gave him money, you're done. It's over.
Yeah. No matter what you do.
It's like, what? That's great. Yeah, why is penalty capitalized?
It's a good question.
Why? Is proper, is that like
a proper penalty? No, it's not. Yeah, that's not the word. I don't think that's the word for Gehenna. Yeah, actually, let me open up my my good translation of the Quran so I can read from what it should be actually saying at the same time. Why is that capitalized?
Mine just says, those are they for whom is the worst of punishment.
Yeah, those are the ones
is that even a sentence? Those
no, it's not. Well,
are they for whom is the worst of punishment. And in the hereafter, they will be the greatest losers.
Yes. Yeah. No, that is the Arabic, like the actual wording in the Arabic is broken a lot of the time and doesn't make much sense. And the grammar is awful. There's multiple books written on how bad the grammar is in the Quran. So even like
text known to man.
Absolutely. With Surah 2 being the champion of it. You weren't there that last week, were you?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have some mental fortitude to get through that in like a normal like sitting because it probably takes an hour to read.
Oh no,
at a minimum.
Ibn Kathir has. So I wrote this down. Do you know what the throne verse is?
I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go to it real quick. So for those who've never read Surah 2. In all of its beauty and all of its majesty. This is apparently the verse that proves the Quran is from God. Okay? Allah, there is no God but He, the living, the self-subsisting, eternal. No slumber can seize Him, nor sleep. His are all things in the heavens and on earth. Who is there can intercede in His presence except as He permitteth. He knoweth what appeareth to His creatures as before or after, or behind them, nor shall they compass aught of his knowledge, except as he willeth. His throne doth extend over the heavens and the earth, and he feeleth no fatigue in guarding and preserving them, for he is the Most High, the Supreme. Granted, this is not actually in the text, and neither is the in glory. This text, according to a couple different Islamic scholars, but this is regarded as Muslims as the most excellent verse of the Quran. There's a tradition that says, has Muhammad, says a hadith that says, the master of all speech is the Quran. The master of the Quran is Surah Al-Baqarah, so the cow, Surah 2. And the master of Al-Baqarah is the throne verse. So Muhammad and Muslims think Surah 2 is the greatest work ever done, and then this verse is the greatest of everything. And Muslims actually have this belief where the Quran is a greater miracle than the resurrection of Jesus, because it's a miracle for all times. So because every person can see it, because you can buy one and look at it, it's a greater miracle than even resurrection.
Yeah. Okay. I don't see it. I mean, it's a paragraph. It's a big verse. It's got a lot of words in it. But
yeah. No.
Who is there can intercede in his presence? It's missing words. Who is there can intercede in his presence, except as he permitteth. So what does that mean? What is it? Okay. Who is there that can intercede in his presence? So it's like a question. It's like, so obviously the answer, reading this sounds like there is nobody. Like, who
Correct.
is there?
It's a rhetorical question. Yeah.
Except who he permits.
Yeah.
So no one.
Because
no one.
That has to be Muhammad. Yeah. But even then, it can't be Muhammad, because the Quran is very clear that no one can intercede on behalf of another in Islam. Even Muhammad can't. The only one that can in the Hadith are the surahs themselves. So the chapters of the Quran will come alive, become birds, and then testify on the believers who recite them.
Huh? What? They become birds.
They become birds.
What kind? What kind of birds?
If I had to guess, it would be,
they just float off the page and
they become like, I think, white birds or like doves or something like that. Yeah, it's
oh man,
it's very dumb. Anyway, that is the miracle of all creation. It's apparently the greatest miracle that's ever happened.
So riddle me this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he is talking, it's always like we.
Yes.
But in that verse, it's he.
Yes.
But obviously he's not talking. It's probably Muhammad.
No, he is talking.
Oh.
So the Quran is divine dictation from Allah. That's what it is. So to any word spoken in the Quran is supposed to be either narration or the words of Allah. If it's not in a narration, it has to be the words of Allah, which is why Surah 1 is a prayer that Allah himself is giving, because it doesn't say. Most of the time, whenever Muhammad is saying something, we have Allah saying, say, O Prophet, or just say, then he gives the phrase. So this is actually just Allah talking in the third person, supposedly. Even though the jinn also have a sentence that they just dictate to Muhammad in the Quran.
Oh.
It's very dumb.
So he's a we and he?
And an I.
And an I.
And an us.
And a them. And a they.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. He's non-binary.
More, he's like a plurality of binaries.
Yeah,
but he's one. You see, we are one.
We are one. Yeah. No, Tawheed makes total sense, my guy. Don't worry about it.
I'll just okay. I know this. I'm a sheik. I know.
Yes.
It's a miracle.
Yes. Anyway. As to thee, the Quran is bestowed upon thee from the presence of one who is wise and all-knowing. Behold, Moses said to his family, I perceive a fire. Soon will I bring you from there some information, or I will bring you a burning brand to light our fuel, that ye may warm yourselves. Warn yourselves.
Okay,
That,
so there's spelling errors in this because there was definitely a word missing in that last one, which makes a lot more sense.
that
Because
should
most of the
definitely be
translations I have
warm.
on my Kindle are also missing words and are just generally bad.
That is so interesting. Hold on. Uh,
And I guarantee you, Logos was like, we're just gonna put a Quran on here. We're just gonna download it off of some website, and we're not even gonna check it out.
no, it does say warm. No, this is just a
A typo.
That's a typo in the actual text itself.
You see, it cannot
You
be
see?
altered.
It cannot be altered. So that you may warm yourself, not warn yourselves. But when he came to the fire, a voice was heard. Blessed are those in the fire and those around, and glory to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. This is Allah talking, by the way.
Worlds plural.
Yeah. O Moses, verily I am Allah, the exalted in might, the wise. So this is Allah speaking. So, some actually, I really want to keep my colors consistent for the Quran, and orange is a contradiction. Okay, so we have Allah speaking from the bush. He's in the bush with Moses, just outright. So whenever Muslims are like, hey, God can't come into reality because he's infinite and he's transcendent, he's not immanent. So because he's transcendent and not immanent, he can't come into reality. Except he appears in reality a bunch of times in the Quran. And in the Hadith, he is
I have heard that
all the time. Yeah.
A lot of them will say, or the question is, can Allah come down and be a man? And for whatever reason, most of them say, no, he can't do that. So automatically limited immediately. He's limited.
Yes. Yeah. Because there's nothing logically impossible about God becoming man.
And at that point, you have to throw this whole story out and say it's fake.
Yeah.
Because he can't do that.
Yeah.
He's
or
only
say
up
that
in
Allah is like projecting his voice into reality. But if he's doing that, then he's inside of time.
And then he wouldn't be inside the fire. He
wouldn't be inside the fire.
The fire would be irrelevant.
Correct. Yes. It's very dumb. So the Quran actually just says outright, yes, Allah, God, is in the fire. The Lord of the Worlds, I think, comes from the fact that there are 7 layers of earth. I believe it's either 7 or 10. There's the 7 heavens. So there's 7 layers of the sky, with Allah being in the 7th layer, with like Jupiter, I think, because each layer is a planet that they can see, with the 5th layer being the stars. So Jupiter is behind the stars in the Islamic model, because it's a scientific miracle. Anyway, they also think that there's 10 layers of the earth, and they're flat. So they're flat discs that are stacked on top of each other. And he's the Lord of all the discs and the planets.
Are the other planets discs or just Earth?
I have no idea.
Just a frisbee sitting up there.
It's a frisbee. Yeah.
Is that why we only see one side of the moon?
Probably, yeah. I mean, that makes sense from the paradigm. Yeah. It's not actually a globe. It's just a plate moving around.
It's just there.
Yeah. The frisbee's in the sky. Okay. This is also a contradiction with the Bible. I'm actually going to color this blue as well. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't actually recall Moses saying anything to his family about, at least not immediately.
No, he does not. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how to do that in Logos without just undoing all of this. Unfortunately. Okay.
You navigate Logos way better than I do. I'd already be lost.
Man, I just need to practice Logos more. Anyway, something else that's really stupid here. His family wasn't with him, as you mentioned. Also, I see a fire. So I'm going to bring some information. So he's going to do divination from the fire.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to the fire
to receive something.
Like he's expecting it to talk to him.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean...
Yeah. He's either going to bring a torch or he's going to bring back some information from like some divination with jinn or something. It's very dumb. Again, this is one of my favorite surahs because how stupid it is, just all the way through.
It's brilliant. Now, I don't know what you're talking about. It's so clear. Like, I could read this, and I bet you I would know the Bible better than anybody else just by reading this one surah.
Oh, dang. I never actually noticed that. You were typing. Oh, no. We'll go through them. He is absolutely a deity of deception, and Allah is solid. I love how you're just throwing out phrases. Oh yeah, the Quran is in the form of a pale man. So whenever I was talking about the birds, like the surahs becoming birds, the Quran altogether becomes a pale man. So you have each chapter becoming a bird, and you have the entire Quran becoming a man that will intercede for everyone, the believers.
Are you saying that the Quran becomes the word?
Yeah.
And he's white?
He's white. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So Emea said, Lord of the Worlds could also indicate influence from Gnosticism because it was affirmed a multiverse.
I was going to say, it sounds like a really good fan fiction, honestly. You see, I am the Lord of the Worlds. You do not know. You will not get to Mars. I'm already there.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man. So stupid. Anyway, this is one of my favorites. So now do thou throw thy rod. But when he saw it moving as if it had been a snake, he turned back in retreat and retraced his steps. O Moses, fear not. Truly in my presence, those called as apostles have no fear. Yet. It did not exist yet. Apostles.
Moses would be like, huh? What do you mean?
What's an apostle? Yeah. Another way you can translate it is emissary. But the way that this is
already throwing the rod. What? We skipped like the rod. 3 chapters.
And it became a snake. Well, actually, no, in Exodus 3.
Yeah, it talks about it, but I mean, like, there's like a little bit of an explanation there, though.
No,
like,
he does it. So he's like, hey, what am I supposed to be doing? And he has him throw down his staff before God calls on his name. So
yeah, but in the Quran, he goes right from the introduction, like, "Oh, I am Allah. I am beautiful and wise and perfect. Throw down your staff." And it's like you just completely skipped, the Yahweh part and the everything. Like Moses is like probably about to have a heart attack. All this stuff's happening. And he's like,
Yeah, I mean, the ordering is for sure off, but I'm like 99% sure he is also like, hey, how am I to prove that?
Yeah, it's right. It's in chapter 4.
Oh, it is in chapter 4?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so yeah.
It's how he gets
your hand thrown to the ground and becomes a snake. Yeah. So it's still in the same section. It's just he didn't like name himself as Yahweh yet.
Is this the message? Are we reading the message right now?
No,
is this the message Quran? No, not this.
The message Quran.
It's like, behold, I am Allah. Throw down your staff. Like, wait, whoa, wait, hold on. We're getting a little fast here. Don't have fear. You're an apostle now. Wow.
I honestly don't know if it was the original Ali or the monkeyed ones. I have not gone that deep into the Logos version to know what version apparently has typos. I don't remember if the original Yusuf Ali has typos or if it's just this version, but
I have my copy, but I can't find it. I must have got legs and walked away because I knew it wasn't going to read
it. Just like the rock with Moses' clothing.
Now that story I remember. I seriously do not know where this thing went. I'm not complaining though. I'm not mad about it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in a better place now.
Yeah, this is so funny though. It's like it turned, and this is actually not the way it's translated in the. It's translated incorrectly here. So in the Arabic, this says as if it had been a jinn, not a snake, a jinn. So for those who don't know what a jinn is, for those watching the VOD, a jinn is a physical kind of spiritual entity being. They're essentially humans, but not humans, and they can be good or bad, and they can like possess people and they can interact with people. So, like for example, if you don't praise God before you have intercourse with your wife, they will wrap themselves around your member and then penetrate your wife with you. That's in the Hadith. So
The forbidden
they
condom.
they can eat, they can procreate with humans, they can possess humans, they can do all these weird random things. And apparently his staff, that rod, his staff turned and started moving as if it was a jinn in the Arabic, but they translate it as snake because that actually makes sense, and that's what the original source said. So it's being written 2000 or 1200 years later after the fact, they translate it as snake instead of jinn.
Sounds like the Nephilim.
Kind of. Honestly, I haven't actually gone into where the jinn. So the jinn probably comes from some Bedouin belief system. I haven't gone into. Yeah, they're genies. It's the other name for it. I haven't gone deep into where the jinn originate from and like the pagan religions. So I'm not sure if it was influenced by the Nephilim or not, but there's lots of stories about the jinn and genies and what they can do to your body. It's so
wild,
so dumb. There's a lot of superstition that is in Islam, especially early Islam. Yeah. Anyway, but if any have done wrong and have therefore substituted good to take the place of evil, truly I'm oft forgiving, most merciful. Why this sentence here?
That makes no sense. How did we get here? Fear not, truly in my presence, those called as apostles have no fear. But if any have done wrong, it's like a fear, wrong,
Yeah, so this gets back into, I think it was 25 or 26. It was 26. So the poets, the super, super long surah. Every single prophet says, I'm from Allah, obey me. I'm from Allah, obey me. I'm from Allah, obey me. So Muhammad likes to tell stories of past people in order to create typology for himself. So because the past prophets said, obey me, you now have to obey Muhammad. Because if the past prophets were forgiven of their sins, Muhammad can be forgiven of his sins. Because you remember, Muhammad was a sinner in the Quran and in the sources. And Muhammad had to be forgiven of his people because they're like offended that he was practicing incest and child marriage. Yeah. Poets have jinns. Oh yeah, it's in Surah 26 as well. So the end of the poets. The reason why it's named the poets is because it says all poets are from Satan, that they have a shaitan, a jinn inside of them. Yeah. It's great. And the jinn are also later on in this chapter in such a stupid way. I love it.
Put them wherever they're needed. Just throw them in there somewhere.
No. Oh, also stars in a later surah. I think it's like Surah 82 or something like that. One of the later surahs has jinn as missiles. No, stars as missiles to shoot down jinn from entering heaven. So they can't eavesdrop on Allah and his plans. Because apparently Allah tells all of his plans out loud.
And then they're gone.
You would think, but no, he created a missile defense system that are the stars, and it keeps them in the fifth heaven and below. So they can't ascend into the sixth and seventh heaven to listen in on the throne of Allah.
Allah can't whisper?
He can't think to himself?
He can't enter creation, but creation can enter him, huh? Okay.
Phrasing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you know the thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
The
Mashit,
El
this
Zut.
is factual.
Oh wait, I'm gonna throw in the Men of Al Zut banner. Okay. So now put thy hand into thy bosom, and it will come forth white without stain or harm. These are among the 9 signs that will take to Pharaoh and his people, for they are a people rebellious in transgression. Riddle for this, riddle me this, Shek. How many plagues were there in the Old Testament?
Forgive me, I am not good at math, but 10.
10. Okay. What number do you see here?
9. I see the problem.
Why does Allah get the number of plagues wrong?
Because the maybe the 10th one wasn't that bad. Maybe he doesn't consider that one bad.
Well, I mean, Allah does condone murder. So,
but riddle me this, part 2. Your hand will come forth white without stain. And, obviously added or harm.
Yeah.
Did his hand not come out leprous on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
But he pulls it out and it's just white.
Yeah.
With no like nothing bad. He just turned white.
Yeah. So it's not, so in the original story, it's not just that Moses' hand was white, it's that it was like decrepit.
Yeah.
Like falling apart, like bone exposed or like muscle exposed. If you've ever seen like late stage leprosy, it is horrific. It is horrific. So I imagine like, if you think about what a zombie hand would look like, that's essentially what Moses' hand turned into. That would freak people out. And then he puts it back in and then it's fine.
Yeah.
So I think the or harm is because the translator, again, understands the Bible and knows that it's supposed to be leprous. And the translators are adding all these things to make the Quran make more sense.
But it says here that it was unharmed. So it's like his hand just turned white. Like it's not leprous. It's just white. He just turned white.
Just turned white. That's the miracle, yeah.
Like, and then
you also get in the Hadith about Moses being a black man.
That's kind of what I'm thinking happened here.
Do you know specifically what race of people Muhammad is compared to? Not Muhammad, Moses is compared to?
Well, I'm guessing dark complected people.
Yes. The men of Al Zut.
This actually makes a lot of sense with it going right into his staff. And it being a snake.
Yeah. No, I can't make that joke. Moses. If you read
it's all coming together now. We could it's been exegeted. This is exactly what's happening here.
So the hadith about Moses' clothes being stolen because Allah wanted to show off his genitals. It says that Moses has the greatest penis of all history. And he's also called a man of Al Zut, which are described as men who have amazing genitalia. So he's a blacker man, a Pakistani type black man with a massive ding dong whose skin turns white as a sign to Pharaoh.
That's the sign to Pharaoh, huh?
Yes, that's one of the signs to Pharaoh. Yeah, and
that's interesting.
brought up that there's also a contradiction with this. There's only 6 plagues. There's, I think, 7 mentioned in Surah 7. Which is ironic. And there are 9 listed in, I think, 23, like one of the earlier chapters. It has every plague mentioned by name, but there's also different. So like the plagues are ordered multiple times throughout the Quran because it just tells the same stories over and over and over again. It has different signs multiple times. So it's not even the same 9 each time. I think there's like 11 total, but it says that there's 9.
Or 6.
Or 6.
Or 7. They're hard to keep track of. Allah, might have abrogated some of them, like they didn't happen.
Of course, yeah. It doesn't actually say the number in Surah 7, it just lists them out, but if you count them, there's only 7.
Which 3 are missing?
Oh, the plague of death. Hold on. I think there's an added one as well.
Ooh, I like the Gnostic plagues.
Yeah. So the
where the Emerald Tablets come from.
Oh, why did it jump to 20? That's interesting. 7-133. Really? I have to add Surah to it?
You had an L in there.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think that's what.
Okay.
Ooh, lice. That's a new one.
So we sent plagues on them. Wholesale death. Locusts.
Wholesale
lice,
death? That's
wholesale death.
I don't know. Is it like get the Salvation Army or what's going on here?
Locusts, lice, frogs, and blood. Those are the 5 plagues, and then they give 2 more, either earlier or later, because it also mentions the snaff into a snake and the white hand, which I think might be above here. It's in a different ayah, but it has 7 in altogether, 5 in one block with these ones, and then 2 more outside of that.
Wholesale death. That I think that might be my favorite thing. Wholesale death. What? Could just be it's at a discount, man. I don't know. It's cheap.
It is awesome. I love it.
It's like ancient Walmart.
I was trying to find the other passage specifically.
But this is a we moment.
A we moment? Yeah.
We sent these.
We sent plagues on them. Who's the we? I'm not going to be able to find a list of them. Oh, no, here's a list. So it's blood, frogs, gnats, flies, livestock dying, firstborn, darkness, locusts, hail, and boils. That's the actual plagues. Mm-hmm. And the Quran... man, why is this so hard to find?
I don't remember you mentioning lice.
Lice is here. Oh, yeah. You mean in the original?
In the original.
Yeah, no, lice is there. It's in the affront to Geb. It's because Geb is said to control lice. So the fact that the Egyptians are lice-driven is showing that Yahweh has power over Geb, who is the earth. So Yahweh has power over the earth. It's also why they come from dust. So it's a polemic against Egypt. So each of the 10 plagues are polemics against Egypt and their gods. The lice plague is a polemic against Geb, who is like one of the primordial deities. Him and Nun, which is the sky. So you have, or Nu is the sky, Geb is the earth. So the sky and the earth get jiggy with it and produce all the children. So he causes hail, so like Nu can't keep herself from dropping icicles. And Geb can't stop himself from producing lice.
The 2 things that life hinges on, lice and ice.
But in their culture, that would have been massively important.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Especially because we have...
Especially the wholesale death.
The wholesale death is pretty good.
That's just, they're done.
But...
openly self-explained. You can tell he's really exalted in might. The wise.
It's great.
He's brilliant.
The Quran absolutely has no idea what it's talking about the vast majority of the time, which is a whole lot of fun. Anyway. But when our signs came to them, that should have opened their eyes. They said, "This is sorcery manifest." The way that this actually said in the original, I believe, was ayatin or ayatina. So it's like it's mere sorcery. It's like clear sorcery, and Okay, it's sorcery. The signs are sorcery. And they
Ow.
rejected those signs in iniquity and arrogance, though their souls were convinced thereof. Or, yeah, they were convinced that the miracles. Let me add green because green is stupid. Their souls were convinced that they were true signs from God, but they still continued in unbelief.
I mean, so this is like bracketing all 10 plagues at once, is what I'm getting from this. Or
Yeah,
they're
the
9, the 9,
the nine,
including the
instantaneously
wholesale
happened.
death.
Yeah, the wholesale death is one of the plagues.
But they only said, like, they were only able to copy, I believe, the first 3, like the sorcerers, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, blood frogs.
The blood frogs and the staff.
Yeah, staff turning into a snake. And I think they were not able to do the hands turning white or the leprous, I don't believe. But they were able to turn water to blood, and they were able to produce, I believe, frogs out of it. I could look it up. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's fun. So
and
see what
they?
Was the they right here?
Oh,
the Egyptians.
But it's really just Pharaoh. I mean, other people didn't have a choice.
I know a lot of the Egyptians believed and helped
the
Israelites.
Yeah, they're like, listen, can we just get these people out of here? You know, maybe this will stop.
Which is actually where the quote in the Talmud gets the these are the best of Gentiles, but slaughter them. Like that quote taken out of context that Daniel Kikaju used in his debate with David. And the context was the Egyptians, the good Egyptians, sided with the Israelites. All the bad Egyptians died in the plagues of death and the hail. And so the good Egyptians are the ones that are chasing them on the chariots. So then God is going to kill the good Gentiles. It has nothing to do with Christians whatsoever, even though Daniel Kikiju used that as, Jews are saying all Christians must be slaughtered. Fun. Yeah, very dumb.
It's brilliant. You see?
Absolutely. So this one is really stupid. So see what was the end of those who acted corruptly. The idea here is that he's looking at ruins, like destroyed buildings and civilizations. So if he's talking about the destruction of Egypt, that means that he can't possibly be in Mecca or Medina, because that is really far away.
Yeah, I mean, very, very far.
Very far. And there's a bunch of times in the Quran where it says, he tells a story, then he says, and look at the ruins that you can see. Like with your own eyes, look at them. So there's a lot of evidence in the Quran that they were not at all in Mecca and Medina. And that's...
I want to know what they saw.
Amen.
Avert your eyes.
What did they see 3,000 years later? But apparently there were ruins, and he kept pointing to ruins and saying, hey, that was these people, that was those people. And he uses the same 7 people, because he also does the people of Athud, or no, the people of Ad, with Selah, the prophet with his camel, the giant camel that came out of the mountain, and then could produce enough milk to feed nations, essentially. Like,
it's a big camel.
Never-ending flow. Like, yeah, she's the size of a mountain. She's red, and she produced endless milk that they had to suck on.
How did they? It's as big as a mountain.
It's very dumb. It's very dumb. That's also in Surah 7. Surah 7 is a trove of stupidity and plagiarism. So this is fun. We gave in the past knowledge to David and Solomon, and they both said, praise be to Allah. Alhamdulillah. who has favored us above many of his servants who believe. Actually, no, that is Allahu Akbar. No, is that Alham? Alham is all praise. That should be Alhamdulillah. Who has favored us above many of his servants who believe. So David and Solomon both said this, even though David was not that way. And Solomon was David's heir. He said, O ye people, we have been taught the speech of birds, and on us he has bestowed a little of all things. This is indeed grace manifest from Allah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah. Absolutely true, Ninja.
It'd be like that.
It do be like that. This is he literally could speak bird. He's Dr. Doolittle. Not only can he speak
That's a
bird,
vibe. That's a vibe. I don't put it past him. He probably could.
Yeah. So Solomon, the wisest man ever, he was literally Dr. Doolittle and could communicate with animals. It points out birds, but he does communicate with other creatures. So he is Dr. Doolittle, and he has a little of everything. He has bestowed of all things. Doesn't actually have a little. Just he has been bestowed of all things. So he has a little bit of everything. And this is indeed grace manifest. And that's actually not how the Arabic has it. This is surely an obvious favor. So, an obvious favor of Allah that both, it's either Solomon and David, or it's just Solomon. Some of this gets into the essentially Gnostic belief, but I think it's the Kabbalistic belief where Solomon had a magic ring. There's actually references in the Quran to his ring, and his ring allowed him to control all things. So it was this magic ring he had that he could command demons with it. He could command angels with it. He could command jinn and animals with it. So he essentially was given by God this ring that allowed him to control all of reality, called Solomon's Ring. And
one ring, huh?
It's essentially the one ring, but more powerful because he can speak to animals.
He can talk to birds.
He can talk to birds. Yeah, it's incredibly dumb.
Can he command him to fly around and stuff? That'd be cool.
I don't remember if he actually flies on the birds. The birds are in his army. And before Solomon marshaled his host, so host is an army of jinns and men and birds. And they were all kept in order in ranks.
I want to know how he ranked the birds. Like,
he absolutely ranked.
They go based on kill count or size.
No, it's actually really funny. Let's get through this a little bit. At length, when they came to a valley of ants, one of the ants said, "O ye ants, get into your habitations, lest Solomon and his host crush you without knowing it." So he smiled, amused at her speech. So it's a queen. And he said, "O my lord, so order me that I may be grateful for thy favors, which thou hast bestowed on me and my parents, that I may work the righteousness that will please thee, and admit me by thy grace to the ranks of thy righteous servants." So apparently Bathsheba also got grace bestowed on her. That was never actually recorded. And he took a muster of the birds, and he said, "Why is it I see not the hoopoe? Or is he among the absentees? I will certainly punish him with a severe penalty or execute him unless he bring me a clear reason." And for his absence isn't included, but just unless he brings me a clear reason. So here we have Solomon talking to ants and talking to birds. And whenever we're talking about like the rankings and like what type of birds he has, I actually have a picture of this bird. So this is the bird. It's cool. It's a
cool bird.
It's a very cool bird. It's about this big. That's not a branch, that's a twig. It's a very, 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 very small bird. It's colorful, it's pretty. I love it. And yet, this is the bird he has. So it's not just like hawks and eagles and like dangerous birds that could actually kill a person. It's like this little teeny tiny bird that he has in his army. So he has this like air fleet. He has an air force. back, and he also has jinn in his army. So he has jinn that he's controlling, humans,
so he employs
and
the dark side.
an air force. So he's a gray Jedi. He's a Dr. Doolittle gray Jedi, speaking to ants and birds. And he praises God for making him the most righteous of his servants. And then immediately one of his birds is late, and he says, I'm going to punish him with a severe punishment or execute him for being late. The
So
most righteous.
You're a sin offering tomorrow, bird.
The way that this is actually described in the tafsir, so the commentaries on the Quran, there's a tafsir, I believe, from Ibn Kathir that says that the way he would punish the bird is by plucking out his feathers and then cutting him with it.
Cutting him with the feathers?
With the feathers. I mean, if you have ever, like, quills exist for a reason. Yeah.
Yep.
Feathers can be quite sharp at the end.
Oh, it's a tiny feather, though.
Tiny feather.
That's like a needle. That's terrible. That poor bird got...
It is so messed up. Yeah. Like, what did the bird do, man?
How's he gonna... What would be the severe penalty if it's not just being executed?
That's the penalty, according to the tafsir, is that his feathers would be ripped out and he'd be beaten and cut with them.
This little bird that's this big.
Yes.
Wow.
His feathers will be ripped out.
To death?
He's going to rip out his feathers. That's super messed up. Or execute him. So the righteous servant. So according to Muhammad, according to Allah, according to the morality of the Quran, the most righteous among us is one who will torture and execute his underling for being late. Not late to battle, just late to assembly.
I want to know how he knew a bird was missing.
It's like,
did he sit there like
a specific bird too? It's not like he's saying, oh, the hoop ease, or however you actually say, like, the plural of that bird. It's like he's saying, oh, I don't see all of those types of birds. A specific bird that's this big in this vast army of humans, jinn, and birds.
It's part of his wisdom. He just knew.
It's part.
Everybody else showed up like immediately.
Yeah.
Not a single other missing thing except for this one bird.
The absolute hikmah of Solomon, the wisdom of Solomon to know this bird is missing. I'm going to torture it. Because he's so righteous. Man.
No late birds in my army.
Yeah. But the Hupu tarried not far. He said, I have compassed which thou hast not compassed. And I have come to thee from Saba with tidings true. Man, the broken English. I get that was like just a fad of writing in this old English. It's like the Book of Mormon is the same way.
It's like, why?
It's so bad. I love it. I found a woman ruling there and provided with every requisite. Thank you. And she has a magnificent throne. So this is the Queen of Sheba. This is a mistranslation. This is Sheba.
Sabah.
Sabah. I found her and her people worshiping the sun. Besides Allah, Satan has made their deeds seem pleasing in their eyes and has kept them away from the path, so they receive no guidance. Now, if you notice, who was it earlier in the surah that caused people sin to look good in their eyes?
I know the answer to this one.
What's your answer, Jake?
It's Allah.
It's Allah. So how is it that Satan and Allah can do the same thing?
He told him to.
Yeah. It's one of his hats. He just takes off his Allah hat and he puts on a Satan hat.
Modalism confirmed.
Yeah, the satanic modalism of the Quran. Oh man. Yeah.
And the sun.
And the sun. Yes. Yeah. I found her and her people worshiping the sun.
Besides Allah.
beside Allah.
So like that implies like kind of like a little bit of both. Like they're worshiping Allah and the sun.
Yeah. And ironically, Allah and other surahs say that he wants everyone to worship him. But here we have Satan deceiving people so that they receive no guidance, meaning they don't receive the recitations of the book, like the kitab, the book in heaven.
Basically, Satan can completely thwart Allah.
That they shall not worship Allah. So this is Satan conquering Allah, not Elah. Elah's God. Allah, the God. This is Satan conquering God.
Yeah, because he can completely derail them. And
Yes.
they're lost, like
Yes.
forever. They're gone.
Satan or Allah is powerless to stop Satan from corrupting people.
I guess that would make sense if he's just changing hats. Just like,
who brings to light what is hidden in the heavens and the earth, and knows what ye hide and ye reveal. So I love how this is not actual sentence. This context and this context doesn't work. It says the word Allah, and he jumps straight into talking about Allah, even though it's a continuation, not a period. And it does this in the Arabic. So this is just all over the place.
I mean, that whole bracketed part, that's like a whole sentence. Just non-existent.
So it's just that doesn't exist.
So they receive no guidance that they should not worship Allah, who brings to light what is hidden in the head. It's like, why does that even...
Yeah.
Why is the brings light to what is hidden have anything like really to do with? I mean, it's like they're just saying it to like give Allah more power for like.
No, he does the same thing. All the time. Every time he mentions Allah, he's like the greatest, the blessed, the merciful, the supreme. Yeah.
There is no God but He.
I wonder how much of the Quran would be gone if you just removed every single time like a Bismillah or one of the praises of Allah happens. Because it's divine dictation, remember. So this is Allah praising himself. Patting himself on the back.
He's very prideful.
He's very prideful. Which is apparently not sin. Anyway. Allah, there is no God but He, Lord of the throne supreme. And Solomon, so it just, I guess Solomon is saying this. So this is all Solomon. No, this is the bird talking. This is the bird talking for all of that. So the bird is a Muslim. He's doing his shahada.
Birds in heaven confirmed.
This is a Muslim bird.
Do they get the 72 virgins too, or what?
Most birds don't even have sex. That's the sad part. Ducks do. They're awful. Don't look into ducks.
Don't even bring up the ducting again. I don't want to go through it again. It's like, I get it. You like ducks. I like
ducks.
I like them too. They're right. They're right.
Well, there's also the duck song up in chat earlier with the.
This was true.
The duck walked up to a lemonade stand. And he had a corkscrew.
And then he recited the Shahada and got 72 duck virgins.
That he would deflower because that's how ducks roll.
We should get copyrights to that to make a parody of that. That'd be so funny.
Man. Okay, so the Houthi is a Muslim, and then Solomon says, "Soon
How
shall
do we know
see."
Solomon?
We don't. It's not in the text.
It's just said.
Said. Just say, "Soon shall we see whether thou hast told the truth or lied. Go thou with this letter of mine and deliver it to them, then draw back from them and see what answer they return." Said, "Ye chiefs, here is delivered to me a letter worthy of respect. It is from Solomon and is in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. But ye not arrogant against me, but come to me in submission." She said, "Ye chiefs, advise me in my affair. No affair have I decided except in your presence." They said, "We are endued with strength and given to vehement war. But the command is with thee, so consider what thou wilt command." She said, "Kings, when they enter a country, despoil it and make the noblest of its people its meanest. Thus do they behave. Essentially, they enslave everyone. But I am going to send him a present and see with what return ambassadors. Okay, so we get in the tafsir that Solomon is actually trying to pick her up because he thinks she's hot, which we'll get to in later on. So it's actually like a booty call through a bird in a letter. So he's like using his Dr. Dolittle powers to send a bird to try to pick her up and convert her to Islam to marry her.
So he takes the bird and sends a message to see if the bird was telling the truth.
Yes.
So why could the bird not just
leave
and then come back after a couple of days and just make something up?
Correct. Yeah. The hikmah of Solomon apparently didn't think about that. Or why couldn't the bird just leave and not come back?
Yeah, why couldn't he
bird?
Yeah, why couldn't he just execute the bird and then go find out himself?
Or just the bird leave, like not go back to Solomon.
Hey, Paul, he's got to get he had to get his 72 bird virgins. He had to hang out or be executed.
Yeah, which I mean, dying in the cause of Allah is the only guarantee into paradise in Islam. So the bird was trying to get into the Garden of Eden. That's all it was.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Completely.
Now, when came to Solomon, he said, "Will ye give me abundance and wealth? But that which Allah has given me is better than that which he has given you. Nay, it is ye who rejoice in your gift. Go back to them, and be sure we shall come to them with such hosts as they will never be able to meet. We shall expel them from there in disgrace, and they will feel humbled."
Indeed.
He said, "Ye chiefs, which of you can bring me her throne before they come to me in submission?" So now he's like forcing her to come and submit to him in order to marry him. Said in Ifrit, which is a Persian word for fearful one. So this is from Persia. So again, like we have a lot of evidence that the Babylonian Talmud was relentlessly plagiarized in the Quran. If this is from in the Babylonian Talmud is in Persia, and they would speak Persian, Persian mixed with Aramaic, we have a Persian word. And not only is this a Persian word, this whole passage is actually quoting from a Targum.
Oh, okay.
So we'll read through the Targum and see how similar it is for the proof of the Quran. One of the jinns, so now he's talking to a jinn that has a Persian name. "I will bring it to thee before thou rise from thy council. Indeed, I have full strength for the purpose and may be trusted." Said one of who had knowledge of the
someone
book.
Who's trustworthy.
Absolutely. So one who had knowledge of the book, Al-Kitab, "I will bring it to thee within the twinkling of an eye." So this might be a reference to the Bible, like I think the Psalms, or like there's a couple of different places where twinkling of the eye happens in the Bible. I'm thinking of the rapture, and I think also in the Psalms it talks about Yahweh being able to do something in the twinkling of an eye. So this might be an allusion to the Bible, that is like plagiarism, might not be, might just be a phrase at that time. Then when Solomon saw it placed firmly before him, he said, "This is by the grace of my Lord, to test me whether I am grateful or ungrateful, and if any is grateful, truly his gratitude is for his own soul. But if any is ungrateful, truly my Lord is free of all needs, supreme in honor." What?
I want to know who wrote this. I wish I knew Arabic just to understand something here.
It doesn't get any better in the Arabic. That's the sad part. A lot of the stuff is still nonsensical. So like one of my favorite verses of the Quran is I believe in Surah 25, and it says, "Do not evil, spreading corruption." That's the whole verse. And that's actually that's in the Arabic.
Well,
do not
do evil.
Yeah, it's not do not do evil, it's don't evil, spreading corruption. Don't evil, spreading corruption.
Don't evil, spreading corruption.
Yeah, it's excellent. Oh man, the Quran is full of really, really dumb sentences.
It's a lot of, it's like, I don't even know what that would be. I mean, it's an incomplete sentence to begin with. I mean, that's
For sure,
obvious. But it's like present and future. I don't know. I don't know. I think that would, I don't even think you could say that to someone in like the 1600s and have them understand that, let alone the 600s.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I love how ridiculous it is all the time. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, it's fun.
And it's in Solomon's time, they would have only had like a quarter to half of the Old Testament.
In Solomon's time? Yeah. You would have the Torah, and you would have had Joshua and Judges. You would probably you would not have had Samuel. Because Samuel was more than likely written either right before the exile or during the exile. Chronicles were for sure written during the exile because it was written by Ezra. But you would have some of the Psalms. You'd have the Psalm of Moses and you'd have the Psalms of David. You would have what Solomon writes himself, so Proverbs and the sex book. And that would be pretty much it. So content-wise, I think it's over half the Torah, or it's right around half the Torah, because you don't have the two, or like the four big prophets make up around a third of the Torah, or the Tanakh, not the Torah, with Psalms being another big chunk of it, and then the Torah being the other big chunk of it. But Jeremiah by itself, that's the biggest book in the Bible by a lot.
Oh yeah, there's a lot there.
Isaiah,
there is a lot there.
Yeah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Isaiah, those are all really thick books to go through. Yes, he's the best of all mankind.
The one and only.
Yeah, hold on. Let me throw up my other banner real quick. There we go. I throw that up with the comment at the same time. There we go. Okay, that's a good screenshot. Okay, so
you see, it was allowed.
Yes. She was of age. She was playing with dolls.
She was an age. Therefore,
she was an age. Her age was on the clock.
I was literally going to say that. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to, so I'm glad you did. That means it's free real estate.
Oh, no. Okay, moving on.
Anyway.
This is by the grace of my Lord. So it's actually the word rabbi, or it's a rabbeh in the Arabic. So Lord is rabbi, essentially. Why? That's a great question. I don't know why. I don't actually remember. I need to read more of the Christian Arabic writings from the 7th century, because we have contemporary Christian writings
because
to the Quran.
Yeah, because that would be a pretty big implication for Judas. In like, I'd like to know what that would be like in the Arabic, because Judas says, "Not I, Rabbi," whereas all the other ones say Lord.
Yeah,
and so if they're saying Lord in place of Rabbi here, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder if it says that for Judas.
Yeah. Plus, Lord is used as like a proper name of Allah, yet Jesus is called Lord in the Injil.
You see, it's different. It's a different.
No, Jesus isn't God. No, of course not. Jesus is just a prophet who is called God
and never died.
And never died and was taken up into heaven and will judge on the last day and will destroy all Christians and slaughter them all. He's kind of like omnipresent and omnipotent because he can travel all over the world and destroy every cross. But he's not God. He just acts like God, sounds like God, is called God. Yeah, of course.
But also Jesus.
Yes.
Like but only one of them's going to do it.
Yeah, and he is the spirit of Allah and the word of Allah and the Messiah. But he's not God, even though the Messiah is God. Amazing.
It's not in the Bible. Trinity isn't in the Bible.
The word Trinity never appears in the Bible, therefore it's not in the Bible.
It's fake news.
The hikmah. Anyway. So he said, transform her throne out of all recognition by her. Let us see whether she is guided or is one of those who receive no guidance. So whether she can become a Muslim. So when she arrived, she was asked, is this thy throne? She said, it was just like this, and knowledge was bestowed on us in advance of this, and we have submitted to Allah. She is a Muslim.
The Muslim phrase.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, she is a Muslim. Yeah. And he diverted, and also Ibn Kathir, like he says of this passage that she was given the ultimate in intelligence and strong resolve because of that passage. So she was the most intelligent woman possible, even though women are awful. This is why he desired her.
What's wild is it sounds like Solomon basically kidnapped her and brought her here and made her do this. Whereas in the Bible, she is just curious and she comes on purpose and then gives him a bunch of free stuff.
Yeah.
And this one, he's like, I'm going to take it. It's mine.
Yeah. And it's actually, it gets worse.
Yeah, I just read that next one and I don't want to. I don't even want to. Can we just stop?
It's a law, for she was of a people that had no faith. She was asked to enter the lofty palace, but when she saw it, she thought it was a lake of water, and she uncovered her legs. He said, this is but a palace paved smooth with slabs of glass. She said, oh my Lord, I have indeed wronged my soul. I do now submit with Solomon to the Lord of the worlds.
I'm glad they added the tucked up her skirts part.
This could be that she entirely exposed, like, hip down, like she showed everything.
And they uncovered usually meant,
yes, yeah,
naked, just straight up.
Correct. Yeah, according to Jalalain, we have to get a look at the queen's legs. She was told, enter the courtyard, which was paved with transparent crystal, under which were flowing fresh water and fish. Solomon had it constructed where he had been told that her legs and feet were those of a donkey. So he got told that her feet and legs were like a donkey. So he created a voyeur room to be able to look at her whenever she lifted up her legs. And then, but when she saw it and supposed it was to be a pool and bared her legs ready to enter it, Solomon was on his throne in the center of the courtyard, and he saw that her legs and feet were beautiful. And he said to her, it is a courtyard paved with glass, and invited her to Islam. Solomon wanted to marry her, but disliked the hair on her legs. And so the shaitans prepared a debilatory, which is a hair removal cream, and she removed it. It's basically Nair, like
ancient Nair.
And she removed the hair with it.
Palace.
He married her and loved her and confirmed her as the ruler over her kingdom. So he accepted aid from demons to remove the hair from her legs in order to marry her. Allah does indeed know best. Did they see her shin? This is Allah's shin. So on the end times, Allah will have only his shin be shown, and it will kill it and destroy everything other than Allah's face will remain. So yeah, he saw her shin, and he might have saw the goodies, because he was worried about her having hair like donkey, and apparently feet like donkey, like she had hooves.
She had hooves.
Yeah, he's Dr. Dolittle, and he was attracted to a donkey.
Surprised she wasn't sliding on his glass floor.
Yeah. Oh, what's the Greek mythology? There's the half man, half goat.
That would be
not a centaur, but
it's a
Thomas or whatever his name was.
I literally can see it.
Half man.
It's called.
He gave the Turkish delight a satyr.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So he saw. Can I look up female satyr without it being disgusting?
You're just gonna get furry stuff, dude.
Oh yeah, that's some nudity. Okay, let's not show that on stream.
You see, this is what Solomon saw.
This is what I was actually gonna try to show that.
3,000 years ago.
Yeah. All right, here's a good one. So we have Solomon seeing this, and he absolutely could not get enough. So he decided to team up with demons in order to remove her hair. So he saw this and got super down bad. Supposedly, like he saw.
She had horns.
She had horns too, just like the Satans.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I love it. Anyway, so he did this in order to see her legs to make sure she wasn't hairy, and then the demons gave her nair, and then she got not hairy anymore. Even though one account is that she was hairless. So we have two different accounts. One that she was hairy and it was removed by demons, and the other one that she was hairless. And he saw everything was like, oh yeah. And then she somehow converted to Islam because she uncovered her legs. So this kind of reminds me of like the shame and honor practice of, if you see a woman naked, you have to take responsibility by marrying her. So she like exposed herself and she's like, oh, I guess I'll convert to Islam in order to be married to you. But this makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And my favorite part about all of this, because he's about to go into a different story, which is just as stupid. And this is the one with the camel. We have Solomon here with armies of jinns, men, and birds. And he's like going to war, and he's like this warmonger. Do you know the only king in the Bible that was at peace his entire reign?
Solomon.
So, and it's
because he had an army of birds. If you saw that, would you mess with him? If I saw a wall of birds and him about to kill the one that didn't show up, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? This guy obviously means business. I am not going in there.
Allah knows best. Yeah, no, so God actually, the real God, Yahweh, actually promised, because Solomon built the house of the God, built the temple, we have that because you have shed much blood on earth my sight, you will not, build the temple, but you will have a son who will be a man of peace and rest. And I will give him rest from all his enemies on every side. His name Solomon has shalom in it, which means peace. Mm-hmm. So we have peace and rest. Rest is Noah. So we have Solomon, which is a like combination of those, which is actually kind of cute. His name will be Solomon, and I will grant Israel peace and quiet during his reign, because he's the one who will build a house for my name. He will be my son. I will be his father, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever over Israel, which gets into Jesus coming from the line of Solomon.
Yeah, it's like a double prophecy.
It's so many prophecies here. But we have specifically Solomon being the only king recorded in the annals of the kings that was at peace. And the Quran turns him into a warmongering, down bad Doolittle that forces a man or forces a woman to marry him.
He did have 700 wives.
And mind you, this is actually, let me go ahead and stop share and then share this window, the Queen of Sheba. So this is from, I got to throw it on screen. This is from Targum Shinai. So for those of you who don't read Hebrew sources, which why would you? You can actually read it with the Hebrew here as well, which is pretty neat. So you can read the Hebrew. But I wanted to read this legend from the Jewish sources.
Legends of the Jews.
Let's see how similar it is to what we just read. Okay. Solomon, it must be remembered. And mind you, this was written 300-ish years before the Quran in Persia. So keep that in mind. Solomon, must be remembered, bore rule not only over men, but also over the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, demons, spirits, and specters of the night. So this gets into the Ring of Solomon idea. Oh man, I'm just gonna leave that up. He knew the language of all of them, and they understood his language. Okay, so we have in the Jewish source, he can speak bird, and he can control demons and spirits. So jinn. When Solomon was of good cheer by reason of wine when he was drunk. Oh, but Solomon's a Muslim. How is he drunk? He summoned the beasts of the field, the birds of the air.
Left that part out.
Indeed, the creeping reptiles, the shades, the specters, and the ghosts to perform their dances before the kings, his neighbors, whom he invited to witness his power and greatness. The king's scribes called the animals and the spirits by name, one by one, and they all assembled of their own accord without fetters or bonds, with no human hand to guide them. So this is why it says they were assembled into ranks. It's because it's plagiarism. But they leave out the context. So they don't have the context, but they're keeping the plagiarism. The context is they're supposed to be dancing. And so they're getting into an assembly to dance. On one occasion, the huppu, the specific bird, the Jewish source hundreds of years earlier, was missed from among the birds. He could not be found anywhere. The king, full of wrath, ordered him to be produced and chastised for his tardiness. Tortured. The hoopoe appeared and said, O Lord, King of the world, incline thine ear and hearken to my words. 3 months have gone by since I began to take counsel with myself and resolve upon a course of action. I have eaten no food and drunk no water.
Solomon's the king of the world.
Solomon's the king of the world, not Allah. Drink no water in order to fly about in the whole world and see whether there is a domain anywhere which is not subject to my lord the king. I found a city, the city of Sitar in the east. Dust is more valuable than gold there, and silver is like the mud of the streets. Its trees are from the beginning of all time, and they suck up water that flows from the Garden of Eden. So this is very interesting because the Quran describes places like this often. And Qatar is another word for Sheba. So the city is crowded with men. On their heads they wear garlands wreathed in paradise. They know not how to fight, nor how to shoot with bow and arrow. The ruler is a woman. She is called the Queen of Sheba. If now is please thee, O Lord of my king, I shall gird my loins like a hero and journey to the city of Qatar in the land of Sheba. Its kings I shall fetter with chains, and its rulers with iron bands, and bring them all before my lord the king.
So this is the bird?
This is the bird talking to Solomon.
He's going to bind and chain the rulers.
He's going to bind and chain the rulers single-handedly. That tiny little bird is going to go. And the bird's speech pleased the king. The clerks of his land were summoned, and they wrote a letter and bound it to the hoopoe's ring. The bird rose skyward, uttered his cry, and flew away, followed by all the other birds. So now it's an army of birds going out and subjugating the land of Sheba. And they came to Qatar in the land of Sheba. It was morning, and the queen had gone forth to pay worship to the sun. Suddenly, the birds darkened his light. The queen
plagiarism detector.
Raised his hand and rent her garment, and she was astonished. Then the hoopoe alighted near her. Seeing that a letter was tied to his wing, she loosed it and read it. And what was written in the letter? For me, King Solomon, peace be with thee, peace with the nobles of thy realm. Know that God has appointed me king over the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, the demons, the spirits, the specters. So the jinn. All kings of the east and the west come to bring me greetings. If thou wilt come and salute me, I shall show thee great honor, more than to any of the kings that attend me. But if thou wilt not pay homage to me, I shall send out kings, legions, and riders against thee. Thou asketh, who are these kings, legions, and riders of the king Solomon? The beasts of the field are my kings, the birds my riders, and the demons and spirit and shades of the night my legions. So he had an army of men, of birds, and jinn. The demons will throttle you in your beds at night, while the beasts will slay you in the field, and the birds will consume your flesh. Okay.
Man, Solomon's just going after her.
Absolutely. When the queen,
like the king of peace is like, yeah, no. Army of birds.
Oh man, one of the typologies of Jesus as the Prince of Peace. He's just slaughtering everyone, conquering
with birds.
Yeah, in a drunken rage. When the Queen of Sheba had read the contents of the letter, she again rent her garment, and she swore to her elders and her princes. It's absolutely more coherent than the Quranic version. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's actually like punctuated. You can actually read this, and
It makes you.
it's kind of exciting. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would read this to a kid, and they'd be like, "King Solomon's so cool. He's got an army of birds."
Yeah. And they answered, "We know nothing of King Solomon and his dominion we regard as naught." But their words did not reassure the queen. She assembled all the ships of the sea and loaded them with the finest kinds of wood and with pearls and precious stones. Together with these, she sent Solomon 6,000 youths and maidens born in the same year, in the same month, on the same day. So 6, and in the same hour, all of equal stature and size, all clothed in purple garments. So these are like 6,000 kids born at the same time. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, but there's like symbolism there in the sixes. They bore a letter to King Solomon as follows: "From the city of Keturah to the land of Israel is a journey of 7 years. As it is thy wish and behest that I visit thee, I shall hasten and be in Jerusalem at the end of 3 years." Somehow she is getting there twice as fast. So she was forced to submit to Solomon due to his power.
Shlomo.
Yeah, I know the way it's, but again, Solomon is Shalom,
right?
So it's literally peace. So he's peace, the king, or the king of peace is actually what the Hebrew says here, because Melech is king.
But
so
why
the king
did
of
all
peace,
of a sudden change? Oh, is this commentary?
Yeah, so this is from the Targum. This is from this is a commentary on the Targum itself.
On the Targum, okay.
We read the Targum
because it said Solomon and then it changed and I got lost.
Yeah, so this is a later rabbi talking about it based on the Targums and the Zohar. She's the queen of demons, Lilith, according to the Zohar, which, whenever I make stuff on the Zohar, dude, it's Gnostic. It really is just Gnostic nonsense.
I mean, it's a pretty like almost a wholesome experience in the Bible. It's like one of like just a normal like kind of thing. Like, oh, she comes, he expounds his wisdom on her, answers all of her questions. She's like, all right, bless your God, you're great. Here's a bunch of stuff. I'm leaving now.
Yeah.
And then it turns into this.
Yeah. Also, I love the sentence. The wisdom he displayed in his intercourse with the Queen of Sheba and elsewhere is not mentioned because it was not the author's intent to relate anything.
Intercourse is an interesting word here. You think it would be discourse?
I think that's sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had wisdom in it.
He had wisdom in it. It could just mean literal.
I don't know. It talks about someone being pregnant up there next.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, if you go up one more. She ended up going back to her country, but she was pregnant.
Oh, yeah. She was converted to Judaism, not Islam. So according to, again, she converted and he married her. Again, did not actually happen in the Bible and was not able to convince her to stay. And that matches the Quran as well. So the Quran had that he made her a kingdom. So again, every single aspect, the palace thing, like all of that was exactly the same as well. Yeah, so here it is.
Oh my goodness.
Who had gone to sit in the house of glass to receive her. The queen was deceived by an illusion. She thought the king was sitting in water, and she was stepped across to him. She raised her garment to keep it dry. On her bare feet, the king noticed hair, and he said to her, thy beauty is the beauty of a woman, but thy hair is masculine. Hair is an ornament to man, but it disfigures a woman. The literal Hebrew here, actually this is Aramaic. The literal Aramaic here is the hair is of a man. So then the queen began and said, I have heard of thee and thy wisdom. If I now inquire of thee concerning a matter, will thou answer me? The Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. She then said to him, 7 there are. So this is again like the actual questions that she asked him. So it's just a commentary on the questions. Then whenever he's able to answer her, she gives faith to God. And she becomes a Jew. So this is, again, following a lot, like...
Isn't it interesting, though?
Man,
how everything adds up there and is pretty much accounted for, but I don't remember you reading in there of the goat part.
well, it's the hairy legs.
Yeah,
And the
but in
goat
the
part,
Quran it says that she has hooves.
well, and the goat part is for a tafsir. So it's not actually in the Quran. It's explaining the Quran because the Quran doesn't make sense.
But isn't it kind of weird that it's like hooves?
Oh,
Like
you're talking
they
about
might have.
the desires.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying they add the hooves in there to like. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. So the
Allegedly.
first like 44 verses of this is directly from a source that predates the Quran, almost word for word in a bunch of the places. So whenever we're talking about like,
Yeah, that is insane how similar that was.
Yeah, Solomon told her to shave her legs.
They made a special potion for it. No
Yeah.
shaving required. It's just gone.
Yeah. So whenever people bring up like, oh, the Quran is a miracle, there's a bunch of things you can go to for like just straight plagiarism. This one's one of the most obvious forms of plagiarism in the Quran. Other places where like quotes verbatim is also pretty good. It quotes almost verbatim for the story of Adam and Eve from one of the Gnostic sources of Adam and Eve. So
it's just crazy how it's like it's not even like changed at all.
No, it's not.
And it's like it's so strange. Like you're like, all right, someone added this, right? And then you find the exact same story somewhere else. It's like it's undismissible. Like it's so
correct.
You can't get around that. That's impossible.
Absolutely,
unless they were to say that the Targum was copied
after the fact. Yeah,
which like doesn't make sense.
It reads better. It makes more sense and it has more context. It absolutely was not copied from the Quran. The Quran copied from it and did it poorly. And we know it was sooner than that. Like we know when all of the Targums were written before that point, but the commentaries on it, like most of the Talmud in general, was completed before 600 AD. So if anything is quoted in the Talmud came first because the entirety of the Talmud was completed before the Quran. So if he has these sources, if he has these rabbinic sources, and in the source he uses a Persian name, and he's quoting from a Persian book that likely wouldn't be anywhere else in the world at the point, how in the world was this written in Medina? Even if you're like, oh, a trade, like he got it from traders. Okay, well then either he has an amazing memory and he remembered that many details in the order that was given originally, or they're copying from a book because he didn't read it. Either that or the standard Islamic narrative of Muhammad in Mecca is false. And he wasn't in Mecca. He was in Petra or Jerusalem or Babylon.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
That he would have a specific Targum. Like, cause it's pretty big, right? There's like multiple volumes.
Well, Targum is an Aramaic translation of the Hebrew Bible. And Targums oftentimes have commentaries on it. So they have Diresh or Midrash. So Targum Jonathan is famous for that. It's also called the pseudo Targum of Jonathan because it's like half commentary, half translation. Neophiti is more of just a straight translation, but it still adds content to it. So like in the beginning, God created through his memra, everything. So through his word, God created, which is actually how we get John 1. John 1 is a rough translation into Greek from Neophiti or some similar source to Neophiti, because Neophiti was probably written after John. But if it was contemporary and it was from Jerusalem, it fits. You can still get the same context. So we have most Targums being written before the Quran. All of the Talmud, though. The Talmud is a giant book, as you were saying. The Targum is just a translation. The Talmud is a collection of both the Targums and the Midrashes on the Targums, and like It's everything all slammed together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they got a lot of stuff written in there. Which it's like
How could he
the
have
Bible.
Yeah. But how could he have had a copy? I brought this up in
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like so specific. And he had to have someone there to read it.
Yeah.
And they didn't misconstrue much of it.
No.
It's
he got
like
almost
just
everything word for word.
Everything is there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the passage in full.
And as much
the
as
only thing,
adding,
it just omits a couple things. That's it. But it doesn't add anything new to it. It has every detail, and it omits her asking questions, and it omits them dancing.
Which is crazy because he seems to like to add things all the time into other things, but takes away from that.
I think dancing is haram, if I remember correctly. Because to dance and sing, I think, is both haram in Islam. I might be wrong on I know singing is haram. I think dancing might be as well. So if it is haram,
is it
then
music
that would
too? Like, can't they not?
Yeah, music in general is, yeah.
So what do they think about David, who did literally all of those?
Well, in the earlier Surah, we also have that poets are those strained and evil who follow them. So poets are those who have jinn who practice evil. So David, being a poet, is doing something super evil, apparently, both by creating music and poetry. Because not all the Psalms are music. Most of them are, but some of them are just poetry. And he dances. And sings. And plays the lyre and harp.
Writes a bunch of songs.
Yeah. No, it's
that's wild.
Very, very dumb religion.
I mean, God literally punishes, like, is it Michal that like made fun of his wife for dancing?
Yeah, his wife. Yeah, McCall.
Because she made fun of him for dancing, and here Allah would punish David for dancing, so he'd be on hers. That's whatever. It's not a contradiction.
Yeah. It's not necessarily studying studying philosophy is seen as haram, but like studying anything other than Islam is haram. So gaining knowledge is haram. In a way.
What? I'm not gonna say.
Let me switch back to my other brain.
Anything about that.
Anyway.
Oh man.
So we go straight from the queen. So she just lifts up her skirts, marries him, submits, and says to the Lord of the Worlds. And then instantly we sent to the Talmud their brother Selah, saying, "Serve Allah, but behold, they became two factions quarreling with each other." It just jumps topic. No discussion, just okay. Next one. You said, "Oh my people."
Probably flipped a few pages in the Targum and was like, "All right, we'll skip a couple pages. We'll go right to this."
I have not done the deep dive into knowing where Selah comes from. I know Emmaus, who's the mod for the channel, whenever we've talked about it, he's brought up that some of the scholars have pointed out that Selah might be a reference to Moses, because it essentially means like the one who brings peace, if I remember correctly, or like the righteous one. And Talmud is the area of Sinai. So is to the Sinai. I was going to say the Siamese. The people of Sinai. Their brother Selah is giving this miracle to bring you to God. So this might be a loose like folklore of Moses that was passed down in the people that stayed, not the people that went to Israel. That might be the context, but I have no idea where he like. There's a couple prophets in the Quran that are mentioned that no one has any idea who they are at all.
Maybe they just took that weird word at the end of some psalms and put that there to confuse everybody. So every time you see that, it means serve Allah.
Oh yeah, the Selah. Yeah. Oh man. Anyway.
Fact check.
Why ask ye to hasten on the evil in preference to the good? If only ye ask Allah for forgiveness, ye may hope to receive mercy. They said, ill omen do we augur from thee and those that are with thee. He said, your ill omen is with Allah. Ye are a people under trial.
I'll give you $10 to read that again. What?
Yeah, ye are a people under trial.
Ill omen do we augur from thee and those that are with thee. Your ill omen is with Allah. Yea, ye are a people under trial.
Oh, man. So the Arabic doesn't even have this. Like, looking at the actual translation.
I mean, that pretty much means
added by the author. What was that?
I mean, augur means to like to divine, like to like.
Yeah.
You know,
it's very dumb. That's not actually what it says. I don't know why they have it there. Like the Ali translation is just weird sometimes, man. There were in the city 9 men of a family who had made mischief in the land and would not reform. They said, swear a mutual oath by Allah that we shall make a secret night attack on him and his people, that we shall then say to his heir, we are not present at the slaughter of his people, and we are positively telling the truth. Positively telling the truth. They plotted and planned, but we too planned, even while they perceived it not.
There's that we again.
The we planned. So this is actually like we plotted. Then see what was the end of their plot. This, that we destroyed them and their people all.
All.
So Allah is a schemer. He's a planner. He's a plotter. They went too far. Now such were their houses in utter ruin because they practiced wrongdoing. Verily, in this is a sign for people of knowledge. The way this is translated typically is indeed. So indeed, in this is a sign for people of knowledge. So the ruins, again, are a sign to the people of the book, the Muslims. So you look at the ruins, you're like, oh, that God destroyed the people. So every single society, according to the Quran, who received revelation from God, because all societies received revelation from God in the language that they spoke, they would receive the revelation, and then the ones who rejected him were all destroyed by natural disasters, and their cities became ruins that you could see visually and know that that was proof of God. Where in the world is he to see all these different ruins? Mecca has some, but it's not many. So if he's in Levant, if he's in Jordan or Israel or Syria or
I mean, he could just see like anything that might even remotely look like something was there at one point and say, you see, there used to be people here. Look at this desert.
Yeah.
This was a thriving metropolis, and it's gone now.
Oh, that's great. We say
kind of like what happened over here, you know, in the Book of Mormon.
Oh, of course. Yes, the Nephites, they just simply cease to exist.
They're just gone.
Every trace of their existence is gone miraculously.
You can't even say you see, just they're gone.
See, they don't see.
They're just gone.
They see with their third eye. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, we gotta do a stream on Mormonism at some point.
That would be funny.
Might be able to convince Mayas to join too. We'll just talk about Mormonism for a couple hours.
Tie it all together, where it's all the same story.
Oh, that'd be fun. Okay, so then we sent Lut, which is Lot. Lut is how you say it in the Arabic. So Lut, behold, he said to his people, as an apostle. He said to his people, do ye do what is shameful, though ye see? Would ye really approach men in your lusts rather than women? Nay, you are a people ignorant. But his people gave no other answer but this. They said, drive out the followers of Lut from your city. These are indeed men who want to be clean and pure. Lut has followers?
As far as I know, he was just, some dude.
He had followers
in Sodom, and they definitely just tried to,
He was a prophet. He was a
He was
prophet,
a
and he had
prophet.
followers. Yeah, he's actually called a prophet. He's listed among the prophets, among the Rasul, not the Rasul, among the Nabi. Like, he's a prophet. He's a messenger.
He is a messenger that
And
wouldn't
he
listen.
had followers of what? Let me highlight that with green for stupidity. Okay. But we saved him and his family, except his wife, who heard we destined to be of those who lagged behind.
Fact check, false.
And we rained down on them. Yeah, it's not his entire family. It was just his daughters. And we rained down on them a
Well,
shower.
his wife turned into a pillar of salt because she turned around. But
Correct.
she didn't lag behind.
No,
she was there. She just, did
she
her
went
thing
back.
and
Yeah, she didn't lag behind. She left and then had a change of heart and said, "No, I'm going to go home." And she went home and died. Yeah. So rained on them a rain. This is not shower and it's not of brimstone. This is in the Arabic. It's literally, we rained on them a dreadful rain. And evil was the shower, as a dreadful rain. And evil was the shower on those who were admonished. They got rained on.
big storm.
It's literally what it says. But no, it means the fire and brimstone, but it just says a dreadful rain.
It just rained.
It just, yeah, it's so dumb. Say praise be to Allah and praise peace on his servants whom he has chosen is better. Allah or the false gods they associate. Or who has created the heavens and the earth and who sends you down rain from the sky. Yeah, with it we cause to grow well-planted orchids full of beauty and delight. It is not in your power to cause the growth of the trees in them. God besides Allah. Nay, they are a people who swerve from justice. Or who has made the earth firm to live in, made rivers in the mist, set thereon mountains immovable, and made a separating bar between the two bodies of flowing water. God besides Allah, nay, most of them know not.
Oh, you see the scientific miracle.
This is a scientific miracle of the Quran. Actually, I should have a color just for scientific miracles. Let's make it blue. So the scientific miracle of having two bodies of water being not mixing, and people actually point to like the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean where they meet, because on the surface, only the surface, the green water and the blue water don't immediately mix. Sometimes, it's not all the time, and they do mix. It's not like they don't mix; they do mix. They just mix slightly slowly below the surface of the water. But the salt water and the fresh water don't. And it's not even, it's two salt waters, but one of them has more salt in it. So the salinity content is different. So they don't immediately mix because they have different densities. But eventually they do mix. And Muslims actually use that as evidence of the Quran because the Quran says that there is a bar separating them. So they use like those pictures of the two seas not mixing and say, "Oh, see, this always happens. This is the proof. This is the proof of our religion." And
why couldn't I, right? Why couldn't I just go out there and say this exact same thing? Why? How is this a scientific miracle when it can be observed? Yeah. It can be observed. It can't. I mean, it's not a miracle to see something.
The ironic part is this part teaches a flat Earth. So the Quran teaches a flat Earth. And it teaches that two bodies of water
sat on the mountains.
The mountains sit on the earth in order to hold it down because it's flat. So they're paperweights that hold the earth where it needs to be.
Come by and float us away.
Yeah, but we're not in space. We're sitting on pillars. So in the Islamic view of reality, the pillars are what the earth sits on, the different plates of the earth. And the mountains sit on top of all the plates to hold them firm into the ground. And the rivers flow out of it.
But then what if we take the mountains off?
Then we might float into the heavens.
We're just gone.
We're just gone. Yeah. So the mountains are immovable, which is ironic because if current geology is correct, the mountains do move. We know even without the so like not getting into the old Earth, young Earth debate, but even if you take an old Earth or a young Earth, we do see movement isostatic movement of mountains where they slowly go up and down by a couple inches every year, and they shift a little bit by a couple inches every year. So for sure, the mountains move. So this is just a false claim in the Quran about the mountains.
It balances out with the without the bodies of water combining.
Yeah.
So like one's true, one's false.
It's incredibly dumb. They're just every scientific case in the Quran is false. And I can't wait to make a video on every single scientific claim in it. One of my favorites, for those who don't know, is semen comes from the back.
It's stored in the bones.
It's stored in bone. It's bone marrow. Yeah. And which comes from, it's actually plagiarism. It's plagiarism. It comes from Greeks. In my country, each elementary school student gets taught their own religion at school. I just found this miracle mentioned in the school books under Quran and science. So dumb. Pain and suffering.
How you mentioned that it just talks about it raining on Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
And then it goes right into saying who makes it rain and cause the orchards to grow, which it is water. Like, if there is any context to be had here, it is strictly talking about water.
Correct. But they view, so this gets into the whole they think that the flood happened through lava, essentially. Like, the flood happened and then the water caught on fire, because in the Talmud has a passage about the seas being ablazed. So in the Quran, it talks about how the seas during the flood caught on fire and the people were destroyed in the fire, because the Talmud says it. So it's plagiarism. There's so much of the Quran is plagiarism. It's amazing. It's almost only Gnostic and Talmudic plagiarism. So just, it has this weird random, like, their understanding of rain and water and like what can happen with it. It's probably literal like fire rain, like, or water on fire raining from the sky. Is probably what they think about it. I hope. Otherwise, it's so stupid about Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, why would that destroy the city?
It's just oil just fell out of the sky and caught on fire.
Oh man,
It's also how the water caught on fire. It's like when you see those, like the oil rigs.
Oh yeah, they're just burning in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the oil spill in Sodom.
Yes. BP is the proof of Allah. Yeah. It's a deep cut. Or who listens to the distress when it calls on him, and who relieves the suffering and makes you inheritors of the earth. Of the earth, I thought we were supposed to go to the Garden of Eden. God besides Allah, little is it that ye heed. Or who guides you through the depths of darkness. Oh, we lost the sheikh. We'll see if he comes back. Anyway, I'll just keep reading while he figures that out. Or who guides you. Oh, yeah, there's sheikh. There we go.
Allah said no more.
Man, I gotta play the Quran.com's reciting to end the stream. Surah 1. Okay.
Classic.
Say none in the heavens or the earth except Allah knows what is hidden, nor can they perceive what they shall be raised up for, like, the resurrection. Yeah. So less can their knowledge comprehend the hereafter. Nay, they are in doubt and uncertainty therein. They're in it.
They're in it.
They're in it.
That's got to be a typo. There are in doubt and uncertainty.
It is an adverb, primarily in Scottish English, meaning with reference to that matter, or concerning it, or about that.
And how is it pronounced? Therein? Has to be.
Hold on.
Therein. And they are blind thereunto.
There aren't. There aren't. Gotta add a little Scottish to it.
That's wild.
There aren't. Nay, they are blind. They're on too. They're on it, and they're
Quran
on too.
teaches you English. How do you know?
Scottish. Yeah, it's almost as if a Scot wrote this. The unbelievers say, "What when we become dust, we and our fathers shall we really be raised?" It is true, we were promised this, we and our fathers before. These are nothing but tales of the ancients. So these are the disbelievers listening to him, the Kafirs, which are accusing him of copying tales that came before him.
Oh no. Are
He's
we
saying
unbelievers?
the unbelievers that are listening to Muhammad speak are saying, you're just saying folklore that our ancestors told us.
It's like, you got that straight out of the Targum, dude.
Yeah, that's
No, you
essentially what they're saying
see.
here. Yeah. No, you see, it's the proof. Say, go ye through the earth and see what has been the end of these guilt. So again, the proof of Islam is looking at the ruins of cities. What? But grieve not over them, nor distress thyself because of their plots. They also say, when will this promise, if ye are truthful?
That is definitely something someone would say in this time period. They would definitely say, all right, we'll see if it comes to pass.
Oh, man. Say it may be that some of the events which ye wish to hasten on may be in your pursuit. But verily, thy Lord is full of grace to mankind. Is he now? That's a contradiction. Yet most of them are ungrateful. I wonder why. And verily thy Lord knoweth all that their hearts do hide, as well as all that they reveal. Nor is there aught of the unseen in heaven or earth, but is in a clear record, a clear book, I believe is what the actual Arabic has here. If this is an Ayatin's Kitab. Verily this Quran doth explain to the children of Israel most of the matters in which they disagree. The children of Israel mentioned. And it certainly is a guide and a mercy to those who believe. Verily thy Lord will decide between them by his decree, and he is exalted in might all-knowing. So they put thy trust in Allah, for they are on manifest truth. They are on manifest truth. Truly thou canst not cause the dead to listen, nor canst thou cause the deaf to hear the call when they turn back and retreat. So this might be referencing Jesus, or it could be referencing Isaiah. Now canst thou be a guide to the blind. From straying only those wilt thou get to listen who believe in our signs, and they will bow in Islam. This is the exact reason why we need the critical Quran on Logos, so we don't have to read the Ali, which is just garbage, man.
Truly thou canst. But it's weird that they used truly right there.
Truly,
and they
instead
used
of verily,
verily,
which is the exact same
verses
phrase.
ahead of it.
Exact same word, translating it in different ways. It's so dumb. And when the word is fulfilled against them, we shall produce from the earth a beast to face them. He will speak to them, for that mankind did not believe with assurance in our signs. One day we shall gather together from every people a troop of those who reject our signs, and they shall be kept in ranks. Until when they come, we'll say, did ye reject my signs, though ye comprehended them not in knowledge, or what was it ye did? And the word will be fulfilled against them because of their wrongdoing, and they will be unable to speak. So this phrase, I think, is similar to the Syriac used of Isaiah and the other prophets, like the word was fulfilled against them, or in the Gospels, where it says, like in Matthew, this might be similar language to what was used in Matthew, where and the word was fulfilled, or the prophecy was fulfilled, or the prophet, what was said in the prophet was fulfilled in this. It's using similar language, so it might actually be referencing or might be copying that type of terminology to sound more authentic, which happens a lot. One thing to note, which one of the sheikhs that is one of like the elder sheikhs in the ummah of the believers, whenever we go through the beast that comes from the earth, a beast will face them and he will speak to them. This in the Arabic is ambiguous because of the different qira'ats. So there's different ways to render Arabic. So if I look at the Arabic here, we have these different words here, and this word here is essentially the same as kitab. And if I translate it here, I should say sane has been fulfilled. But that's not actually the sane that I want. That is the right kitab, just not the right location. Where's the other kitab? This one? I'm not super good at Arabic. I'm still learning.
As far as I'm concerned, those are all the same word. Like, is that Elvish? I don't even know.
I do actually think it's this location. It's interesting to me that wasn't translated that, because that is the word for speaking. Okay, so this word for speaking, because it's the same word, but that speaking is a different verse. I don't know why the verses are out of order. That's 81. That's 82. So since this is 82, because that's what that literally means, it should be in this sentence. Let's just translate the whole sentence. That speaks to them. So it's translating as speaks here because of the vowel markings. And I'm pretty confident that is...
Wow, that reads so much better than whatever the heck we read.
And when the word comes to pass against them, we will produce for them a creature from the earth that will speak to them, that people will not certain of our signs. It is the speech of Mordor. It's not Elvish. That's great. Anyway, so this is a similar phrase to kitab. If you remember from our studies, kitab means book. Kitab or kitai means to speak. It means speech. If you change this letter from an A here, so if you change this to an I or U, it changes it from speak to write to destroy. So there's multiple ways to render this in the Arabic, where we have the creature doesn't speak to them, but it destroys them. And there's a shek that actually is like, yeah, this literally means to destroy, because what does the beast do? It comes out of the earth to destroy everyone. Because this is referencing Revelation with the beast destroying mankind during
That's what I was thinking.
It's a reference to the beast. And it's reference to the beast destroying them, but because of the Arabic being ambiguous here, it's actually not there, it's here. Because the Arabic is ambiguous, and you can have either it speaks to them or it destroys them. Do you know the vast majority of translations of the Quran, or not translations, of the Qira'ats, the vast majority of the Quran, because this is based on the Hafs version of the Quran in Arabic, the vast majority of the Arabic versions of this has it speaks. Not it destroys, it speaks. There's only like one variant that has it destroys, and the Sheikh says that it should be it destroys. So he's disagreeing with the way the Quran is rendered. So we get into like dot for dot preservation. This is obviously he speaks, or he destroys, not he speaks, yet it's rendering it as he speaks.
I mean, for there to be ambiguity in something that's kind of, it's not, it's like, it's clear.
Yeah.
It's clear and it's preserved perfectly.
Perfectly preserved, perfectly clear.
And you just know what it's talking about.
Yes.
And the fact that most of them have rendered speak,
yeah,
is interesting.
Even though it's obviously not speak from context.
Yeah.
Even not knowing the even if you just read the Quran, what does Allah do to those who don't believe in his signs? He kills them. Yeah. He destroys them. He rains fire from the sky. Or he sends a dreadful rain. Mm-hmm. Why is it that the beast would just talk to them?
And better yet, if he did talk to them, what about? What did he say?
It's nonsense. It's crazy. It's absolute crazy nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be destroyed for that mankind to not believe with
It
assurance in
has to
our
be.
signs.
It has to be.
One day we shall gather together. And then it sounds
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I,
So this is the Quran. This is the official Cairo edition of the Quran having a word misvoweled. Essentially, yeah, misvoweled. Like the diacritical marks are wrong. It should not be the aleph there. It should be a wow.
wow is right. Crazy.
Man, it's crazy, isn't it? It's insane. Anyway,
You see, it makes sense.
you see.
I see.
Anyway, and the word will be fulfilled against them because of their wrongdoing. They will be unable to speak. So see that they not we well what they see they not that we have made the night for them to rest in and the day to give them light. See they not, so they don't see that we have made. It was the way this should say. Like this, my brain did. Okay, this should say, don't they see that we made the night for them to rest in and the day to give them light? That's what it should say. What? Verily in this are signs for those that believe. So day and night are signs, they're proof of Allah.
The fact that there's day and night.
The fact that there's day and night is proof of Allah.
How? Where's the explanation?
Quran says so.
It just is.
Yeah. The fact that the sun moves and the fact that the moon moves is the proof.
You see.
You see.
But not at night.
Does this sound familiar to you? And the day that the trumpet will be sounded, then will be smitten with terror those who are in the heavens and those who are on earth, except such as Allah has pleased, and all shall come to his as beings conscious of their lowliness. So as slaves, essentially what that means. What does that sound like? The day of judgment with a trumpet sound.
Yeah, it's pretty much Judgment Day, when the world was like gone.
Pretty much Judgment Day, but that's from the New Testament.
And Allah will bring everyone to his presence, huh?
Uh-huh. He's quoting Paul.
No, he had this revelation from Allah, dude. Allah talked to Paul too, he just got
well, the earliest tafsir does have Paul being one of the true believers of Jesus. So you do have that. It's great. Thou seest the mountains and thinkst them firmly fixed, but they shall pass away as the clouds pass away. The artistry of Allah, who disposes of all things in perfect order, for he is well acquainted with all that ye do. If any do good, goodwill. If any do good, goodwill to them therefrom, and they will be secure from terror that day. And if any do evil, their faces will be thrown headlong into the fire. Do ye receive a reward other than that which ye have earned by your deeds? For me, I have been commanded to serve the Lord of this city, him who has sanctified it, and to whom all things. And I am commanded to be of those who bow in Islam to Allah's will, and to rehearse the Quran, and if any accept guidance, they do it for the good of their own souls. And if any stray, say, I am only a warner. And say, praise be to Allah, who will soon show you his signs, so that you shall know them, and thy Lord is not unmindful of all that ye do. So this gets into the problem with the Quran, because the Quran is an apocalyptic book. It thinks the end times was about to happen. So the Quran is a doomsday cult that was focused on sex and conquering. But it started out as, if you read the first surah, it's warning of the end times. So the earliest part of Islam is a doomsday cult. His doomsday cult started gaining traction and he started gaining power, and then it became a sex cult. But he kept the doomsday stuff in it after he gained all of his sex slaves and his 11 wives, 9 of which were alive at the same time.
Great.
What?
It's like I don't.
Why believe in this religion? Like the
world's gonna end. You got this guy screaming nonsense at you, you're like, well, he must be onto something because it makes total sense.
Okay. Muslims, if any of them watch this, I know this is 2 hours. I doubt that they'll see this. If there's any Muslim that watches this, I have a question. Read through Surah 27. Read the plagiarism that it took from the Jews. Read about the stupidity they're in. Would God come up with that surah? Would the infinite, intelligent, all-knowing, all-powerful God from eternity speak this into being? Do you really believe that? Do you really think that? How can you be a Muslim and this be your holy book? I don't understand. I do not know how you can be a Muslim and read this and understand it and see the plagiarism and see the errors and see these scientific problems. And just like the amount of cognitive dissonance that is required to be Muslim and to understand the Quran, I don't get. I do not understand. How?
That's honestly kind of sad. Because, I mean, it opened my eyes. I mean, I'm not a Muslim, obviously, but if I saw, like, if you could show me, like, if they actually existed, like the emerald texts of Thoth or whatever, and you could show me, like, the entire book of, like, Genesis written in that from, like, 20,000 years ago,
yeah,
then I'd be like, all right, yeah, it's made up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened here.
Yeah.
It's word for word. Down to the bird. The weird bird.
The specific bird
that no one's heard of.
It lives in North Africa in the Middle East. So how do they know about this bird in Mecca? I don't actually know if it's in Mecca.
Like, if you were to use like a dove, you know, it's like, all right, it's ambiguous. You know, it's mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
But this weird bird that literally no one has heard of outside of this particular book.
In this section, like, well, the people who live there know about it because it lives. So it's in Egypt, it's in Morocco, it's in not Niger, but whatever the other northern African nation is. I can't think off the top of my head right now. I think it's in Iran. I think it's in Jordan, Syria, Israel. I don't believe it's in Arabia. I'll just double check real quick. I don't actually think it's in Arabia though.
Which says even more about that he was in Egypt, probably.
Or in Jerusalem.
Or true. Which is how he probably stole a copy of the Targum, which I feel like that would be really hard. I feel like
no, they're literally, they literally are not in Mecca. Like, apparently there's some in America.
Runes.
There's a Eurasian hoopoe as well. Okay, so let me save this image and then show where Mecca is, because this is just amazing. So I did not realize this, or I would have already had this pulled up. This is a really low value graphic, but okay.
I like it.
If you notice,
it fits.
It's like maybe on the edge, but like it's not in Arabia. It is mostly, apparently there's a Eurasian variety, there's an African variety, like multiple African varieties. From this, that's not actually the distribution I saw whenever I was first researching this. So it might just be different, but like it's not even in Mecca.
What I'm seeing here is that he's probably in Jerusalem. Like Israel, somewhere in Israel.
Even if I bring up, so Mecca is technically in that little green strip left of Arabia. It's in that location. I don't think Medina would be a little bit outside of it. But even then, the vast majority of them are not in Arabia because it's a desert.
There's got to be ruins.
There has to be ruins. There has to be ruins, there has to be this bird, and there has to be Jewish sources. Persia if you notice, you can't actually see my mouse, which is super disappointing. But Persia, if I could write on screen, is right at the beginning of that orange, right above Arabia. So if Persia, where that like big square is, Persia has this. The Jews were there. The Jews wrote the Talmud there. The Jews, that has a Persian word. So the bird lives in the area with the Persians. And in this surah, we have a Persian word for one of the jinn, copying a Babylonian Talmudic passage. But it's in Mecca.
It's in Mecca. I mean,
But it's in Mecca, of course.
you
Absolutely.
see Allah made bird there, and also ruins.
So
wild.
dumb, man.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know how you'd refute that. I really don't. That's pretty broad daylight.
Yeah, the plagiarism, man. If I were to put, I'm so interested if I were to put both of those tests, if I were to just copy and paste them into a plagiarism detector, if the online detector would come back with it was plagiarized.
I wonder if you could run it through AI, because I know the Targum's, I said huge. Yeah. What if you took the Quran and also took the Targums and just had it just sit there and just run through and see all the similarities? I wonder what it would come back as.
I've done that on a small scale. I've asked it several questions. I found around 100 passages that had it. I think there's significantly more than that. I think there is significant. It's like Gehenna comes from the Talmud. It doesn't come from the Injil. It doesn't come from the Gospels. It doesn't come from Jesus. It comes from the Talmud. Because its description of Gehenna matches perfectly Oder Selem.
Makes you wonder if when he said, "Oh, bring me the Torah and sit it on the chair," and it's given me, you wonder if it's that.
So the is called the book. I can actually pull up this passage. But in the Quran, it does say, I'll have to try to find it. It might actually be Surah 2. Hold on. There is this, one of the early surahs has this phrase that says, it was written in your book, and then it gives this following, it gives a list of what was actually written in the book, and it quotes directly from the Talmud, which is a massive problem because the Talmud is not the holy book of the Jews that was given by God. Yet it's quoting the Talmud as if it was written by Allah. So the Talmud appears to be the holy book. It might even be the Torah that the Quran is talking about. It is insane. I'll have to.
I think it starts with a T. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
they all start with a T.
Yeah. Oh man.
I don't. How do you even keep track of it all? It's like. It's a miracle. We were able to condense 18 different religious texts into one book.
Greek Talmud. Yeah, is it Surah 532? That might actually be it. Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen again. So let me throw open Surah 5. And then it was 32. This is one of the most damning verses in the Quran. On that account, we ordained for the children of Israel, that if anyone slew a person, unless it be for murder or for spreading mischief in the land, it would be as if he slew the whole world. And if anyone saved a life, it would be as if he saved the life of the whole people. We know exactly what passage that was. That's from Sanhedrin 37a. So this is a massive problem because it is saying that we gave it to the people, the children of Israel. And then it quotes it verbatim. This is actually the most verbatim quotation in the Quran. Let me find the exact place. It is insane. And it is actually... Yeah, here it is. So let me share this. Remove, share, share screen, window, Sanhedrin, share. So the court, oh wait, nope, gotta throw it on stage. The court tells the witnesses, therefore, Adam, the first man, was created alone to teach you that with regard to anyone who destroys one soul from the Jewish people, i.e. kills one Jew, the verse ascribes him blame as if he destroyed an entire world. As Adam was one person from whom the population of the entire world came forth, and conversely, anyone who sustains one soul from the Jewish people, the verse ascribes him credit as if he sustained an entire world. This is from Sanhedrin 37a. This was from, I believe, the Jerusalem Talmud. So this was written 200 AD, 200 to 300 AD. So around 400 or around 300 to 400 years before the Quran was invented, we have it
revealed
in the Talmud, and we have the Quran explicitly saying that it affirms what the children of Israel were given. We ordained for the children of Israel, if anyone slays a person, it would be as if he slew the whole people, and if anyone saved life, it would be if he slaved all of mankind. The Arabic is actually more literal to the Syriac and the Aramaic. So if you were to look at like word for word translations rather than the Yusuf Ali, that is the most word for word copying in the entire Quran. And it is explicitly saying that it comes from the book of the children of Israel, and it's from the Talmud. The correct response. Oh dear.
Can confirm Sanhedrin 47 is scripture.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah. Sanhedrin 37a is scripture according to the Quran. So, anytime a Muslim is like, hey, look, he was illiterate. It's a proof of Allah. He could not have copied it because he was illiterate. Go to these passages. Show them, hey, the Quran straight plagiarized the Talmud in hundreds of places. Like,
it's the most beautiful book ever written.
Anywhere
it's
from
just stolen
20
from other things.
Absolutely, yes. Anything good in it is stolen. Including the best verse. So like Surah 532. The best verse in the Quran is plagiarized. Plagiarized. Anywhere from 20% to 40% of the Quran is plagiarism.
Well, you had to get it from somewhere.
Yeah. And then the stuff that isn't plagiarism is him threatening people with death, forcing them to obey him, giving himself personal pleasures like marrying as many women as he wants, being able to do whatever he wants to women if his right hand possesses them, so he can have sex slaves and it be perfectly halal. And
just don't dance.
Don't dance, but you can grape women. And he's can also commit incest and child marriage, and that is entirely fine. Yet, it's all just plagiarism. It's all just nonsense, and it's mostly evil. It's not only plagiarism, it's plagiarism that was twisted to become more evil.
Yeah, it's like he plagiarized like stories, changed them up, and all the things he added was just evil.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, trust this guy to write a book.
Hey,
he couldn't read, so someone had to Someone had to read that to him. He had to memorize it, so he must have had an okay memory to then speak that in wherever he was in front of the ruins to get his point across.
If he actually existed.
If he actually existed. This is true.
If it wasn't just folklore added in later on. I'm starting to think that it was just like some random Kabbalistic Jewish sect that was heavily influenced by Zoroastrianism, which again, Zoroastrianism, one of the big 4 religions that influenced the Quran, is in Persia. It's the state religion of Persia.
That would actually make sense, especially if he was there and they're seeing like the ruins and stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of ruins in Persia too.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there. They just go around and it's there.
Yeah. And at one point, I think Surah 25, it has that look at the ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah. So they're in a location where they can see the ruins of Sodom and Gomorrah.
It just rained really hard there.
It just rained really hard there.
Just ignore the sulfur and everything that's being discovered in the area.
It's hundreds of miles away from Mecca and Medina. They just have really good eyesight.
Very good. He probably sent one of his birds. Oh, wait, no, that was Solomon. Never mind.
Yeah.
He didn't have
he got the Ring of Solomon and gave himself the power. He became the Doolittle. He's Sheikh Doolittle.
He had the birds translate for him.
Yeah. They don't get doctorates because they're not allowed to do Western education. So he's Imam Doolittle. The hikmah, the wisdom.
Oh man.
Anyway,
it's coherent. Makes total sense.
Absolutely. That was just one chapter of the Quran.
It was exciting. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Up to this point, I mean, that's chapter 27.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
The rest they're just tough. They're just tough to get through. If you can get through the cow, like,
more power to you, man.
It's like you can take on the rest of it. But even just the cow, I mean, it's the most beautiful text known to man, according to somebody out there.
Okay.
But man, it's rough. It's rough and long. How many verses? Oh, that was so funny. Oh, those who go astray. That's us right there.
Anyway. Yeah.
I don't know. Like when you see things like that, I don't. Just the smallest amount of research. I mean, that was one chapter.
Yeah.
In less than 3 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And you pretty much can show that it wasn't divine revelation. I guess you could like try to go with the fact that, if Allah also worked through the Talmud and the stuff that, and that's why he's saying the same thing twice, but that's nonsensical. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
like I mean, not the Jews don't even think it's scripture. I don't believe they wouldn't treat it like that. It's a commentary.
They might treat the Mishnah like that, but typically they wouldn't either. So like the Mishnah is the Rabbahs, the big books, because that's what Rabbah means. The big ordinances, just commentaries on the Torah itself. It's just extra laws. But the Diresh and the Midrash, they are not holy like the Torah at all, or the Tanakh in general. They're just not. They're not in the same category.
Until Muhammad gets a hold of them.
Until Muhammad gets a hold of them. So, and in the Talmud, you have, because the Talmud is, if you've ever read it, it's mostly just rabbis arguing with each other.
I have seen a couple of portions, usually the ones that people talk about the most.
Yeah.
Like child marriage. Or whatever that section is where they're fighting.
Man. It's just people arguing, and people have the dumbest hot takes, and it's just mostly, it's like the Gemara has like the collections of the Mishnah and people's commentaries on the Mishnah. And then most of the Talmud is just the people doing midrash, where they're just like, hey, Rabbi so-and-so said this really stupid thing. And then you have like 6 rabbis all calling him an idiot. So is that the divine word of Allah?
I mean, it
And a
did
lot of
say
those-
rabbi in there at one point, so.
Well, some of the Talmud is like indicating that God has multiple persons. That God is there's 2 powers in heaven. That he's a binity. So what do you do with Tawheed with that? If the Talmud is the inspired word of God, how is it that there are thrones placed plural in Daniel 7? And the Ancient of Days and the Son of Man sit in the thrones and are both called God. Rabbi Akiva says that one's for the Messiah and one's for God. So he has a divine Messiah in the 2nd century AD. In the Talmud, there's a divine Messiah.
And they wouldn't just look at Jesus and they're like, oh, wow, this guy claimed to be God. Can't be him. It's not him. Cannot be.
Some people have speculated that Akiva was actually like a closeted Christian. But I have no idea. Akiva is super important, by the way. He's one of the like big guys in rabbinic Judaism. Him and like Maimonides and Rashi and all those guys. Early rabbinic Judaism, he was one of the dudes. And then whenever after he said that, he got blasted by a couple of other rabbis who are like, go back to law. You don't know what you're talking about with the prophets. So you have Rabbi Akiva saying that there's a divine Messiah, then other rabbis saying he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not learned in that subject. Therefore, we should ignore him.
But he's a rabbi.
Yeah, and all of it is the Talmud.
Yeah.
The Quran is affirming all of it. Yeah.
Hey, it's got some good stories in there. I mean, they're fun to read.
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
It's pretty cut and dry. I mean,
and the sad part is this isn't even the dumbest surah. This is just one of my favorites because that's him talking to ants and it's just obvious plagiarism. So even if it wasn't obvious plagiarism, it's still really stupid.
Well, then you could at least say Muhammad was, creative. I mean, that's a creative story. I mean, he's talking to ants and birds and sends a bird to.
It's a bird army. Yeah.
Army of birds, knows exactly when one didn't show up on time. I mean,
yeah. He rizzed up a chick with a bird by threatening her with death. Yeah.
And then showed her his glass palace and then shaved her legs with
demon sauce. Yeah.
Demon sauce. That works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's not even the dumbest story. I love it. There's a lot of really, really dumb.
It was good. And it actually, it wasn't really boring. It was like, it was
it's not like the cow. The cow is so boring, man.
It's terrible.
I've read a lot of books, and I spent so much of my time reading. I have never fallen asleep reading a book before. No matter how late it was, no matter how tired I was reading The Cow at 10 p.m. I normally go to sleep between 12 and 1. So 2 to 3 hours before I actually go to sleep. The Cow put me to sleep. It is so
you're
boring.
having trouble sleeping.
It really is.
Have the solution.
Dude, if you're an insomniac, read The Cow. Yeah.
Well, I made the mistake of reading The Cow in that translation that we were reading because it was the only copy I had. And The Cow was like 25 pages.
Oh, yeah.
Of the 500-page book.
Yeah.
Or 300 or however many.
Let's see. So I have The Cow starting at 13. And it goes until 41. So 30, just shy of like 38 pages, 37 pages, 38 pages.
And that translation is
28.
It's like half King James, half whatever it wants to be.
Yeah, it's just nonsense.
It doesn't make any sense. And because you really can't read it into context because you don't know when any of these things took place and you don't even know if it's in order. It's just why even bother reading it, really?
If you want a good Quran translation, the Critical Quran,
That's the one I should have got.
That's the one you should absolutely get. It not only reads better, other than the fact that it actually translates to broken Arabic whenever it happens, but it reads way better. And it has sites, like it has every tafsir that's relevant, every plagiarism that's relevant, explanations of random words and prophets that don't make sense. So if you're going to start studying Islam, get the Robert Spencer edition of the Quran, and then skip the cow. Don't read the cow. Come back to it.
Yeah, you're not missing out. You're not missing out.
The cow, so whenever we were reading the cow together as a group, I had this revelation that the devil obviously wrote the Quran. And he wrote the Quran in such a way, he had it ordered in such a way that he put the most boring piece of literature ever at the beginning. So people who are curious don't actually read it because they can't make it through the cow. It's so long and so boring, you can't actually get through the cow. So the cow is this like safety net to keep people from actually reading the Quran and leaving Islam.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, who decided that the Quran was going to be listed from longest book to shortest book?
But it's not. The third longest book is the 26th chapter. Or the
Really?
third longest chapter is the 26th chapter. It's the poets.
Oh, I thought it was longest to shortest, except for the first one.
It's supposed to be, according to Muslims, but that order, if you actually look at the order of Revelation, let me actually see if I can pull up a graphic for that real quick. It is so wrong. It fails hilariously. So here's a good graphic. So let me just save this real quick and I'll just throw it up on screen. This is so wrong. The standard Islamic narrative about the lengths of the Quran. So here it is. Okay. If you notice, the third longest one, actually the second longest one is, a good bit into it. I thought the poets was the third, not the second. It's actually apparently the second. So the second longest surah is the 26th surah.
Wow. It doesn't feel like that when you're reading it. You feel like all of them are 800 pages long.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have, it goes from the 300 just about, jumps down to 200, jumps to 176, jumps to 120, and then it goes back up. And then jumps down to 75, and then it goes back up. Then jumps down to 43, and then it goes back up. Then it kind of stays near 100. And it does 64, 77, 227. And then down to 30. And then back up to 182.
Just like, oh.
So, sure, the general trend downward, if you were to throw a regression on this, the general trend downward is that it's ordered from longest to shortest. But the actual pattern doesn't match that whatsoever. It doesn't match a Meccan ordering. It doesn't match a Medinan ordering. It doesn't match theology. It doesn't match revelation. It doesn't match length. There's no beginning. There's no end. Because even like Surah 110 is supposed to be the last surah revealed whenever they conquer Mecca. It doesn't actually have an end in that surah. Surah 5 is the last complete surah, other than Surah 9. So Surah 5 and Surah 9 are the last complete surahs. Neither of them have an end. So there's no end to the book. If Muhammad wasn't poisoned by a Jew, he would have probably lived longer. There would be more surahs. There wouldn't just be 114. There would be more. That's my contention. I actually made a whole argument about it, which I'll make a video on eventually. But if he continued to live, if he wasn't poisoned to death, I guarantee you there would be more than 114 surahs. If there is, it's not divine dictation. It's not from Allah.
So basically what I'm getting from this is just threw it all together.
They just randomly threw it together?
Except they took the longest one and put it in the front because it's the most beautiful book.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Other than the 7 verses here, which is actually one of the shortest ones.
Yeah, the whatever they call that.
The Al-Fatiha, I think. The opening. I think in Arabic, Al-Fatiha is the opening. Yeah. So the order of the Quran makes literally no sense whatsoever.
It's just
There's
there.
no beginning, no end. It's just like Jesus, except not evil and
The
stupid.
Quran is Jesus.
It's the hottest take.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically,
They're both
but
endless and make, well, one
I'll say
makes a lot of
Melchizedek
sense.
instead.
The other one makes no sense.
Yeah, no beginning, no end, except God, Jesus, holy, divine, good, intelligent, coherent, calls people to repentance, and then Islam, opposite of all that, and indulges sin. Because to make something not haram, you just make it slightly more pious, and then all of a sudden sin becomes good. They call what is evil good. I wonder where I heard that.
And then they're deceived.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
It's great.
I think that's everything I want to go over. Do you have any hot takes you want to throw out there before we call it?
Hot takes? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you just buried their book. That's as hot as it's going to get, aside from the rains on Sodom. Very hot water.
I believe Moses made the Quran shorter, like the 50 prayer to 5. Moses made the Quran shorter. You mean Muhammad?
No, you see?
Because that's actually a statement in the Hadith, is that Muhammad, the Muslims usually had to read, or they had to pray 50 times a day, which would be like every 25 minutes or so. And that's not including, like, that's just waking hours, or that's like 24 hours. If you do just 18 hours, then that's like every 15 minutes or so, you have to pray to Allah. And the prayer you have to do, you pray it, and you get up and you pray, and you get up, you can pray. So like that is like a 10-minute process. So you basically to be non-stop, like only praying in the day. And then Muhammad interceded for mankind. How? Because the Quran said that no one can do that, but Muhammad interceded, and then he got it down to 5 in the Hadith. In the Quran, there's only 3 prayers. There's the morning prayer when you're naked, the noon prayer when you're naked, and the afternoon prayer when you're naked, or the nighttime prayer when you're naked. So the only time you pray in the Quran is when you're naked and in your bed, in your home. So praying in a mosque is not actually Quranic, and plain clothed is not actually Quranic. Yeah. That's in 24 or 25. It's right before the poets. So it's somewhere between 23 and 25 it talks about how the times of privacy in which little girls can't enter in on you, your servant girls, not the Mohammedan, like not the Aisha type girl, but like your servant girls can't enter into your home during the time that you typically pray, because you're going to be nude, because people slept in the nude in their tents back then.
Which that would make sense.
Because it's hot.
Why do you have to be naked to pray, though?
Well, you pray as soon as you wake up, is the idea. Like you don't have time to get dressed.
And you're there, you're done, you're going.
Which is why they can't walk in without knocking, is to make sure you're actually clothed, for modesty. So the Quran actually, and this is the same passage that allows Muslims to prostitute women. So you have one concern for modesty, and then the next verse is like, and don't force your slaves to do prostitution unless they are refusing to marry a Muslim. Then you can force them into prostitution. So the next verse condones prostitution and like being a pimp. But then the one before that is like, oh, be modest. Don't walk in on people naked. So.
But you'll be naked all the time.
The slave will be, yes, but not the non-slave, because Allah gives special privileges to the Muslims. Yeah.
Let's see.
Vile religion. Anyway, so
pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
There's pretty easy ways to disprove Islam. Like the Quran says that Jews believe Ezra is the son of God, and no Jew has ever said that. So that's just.
It's a big deal, but he's not the son of God.
He's not even that big of a deal.
I mean, he just wrote a book.
There's a lot of Jews that probably don't even know who Ezra is.
I mean, that depends how if they read it, I guess.
That's true. But okay, well, I think I'm gonna call it here. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks, Sheikh, for gracing us with your knowledge and
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I don't think I expounded on much. I was more just in awe playing devil's advocate for whatever was even remotely logical, which was not much. I don't know. Like there wasn't really anything there wasn't really a rebuttal for anything, really.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what their argument would be when you physically pull where it came from.
Yeah, like you literally
show
word
them for word.
Like what do you do with the Queen of Sheba passage? You literally can't do anything other than it just straight plagiarism. Anyway, I don't need to rehash it.
Yeah.
May the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you always. See ya.
And see ya.